Football 92. Proudly brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors, BP Australia, CUB, Westpac, Rocker Brothers and Foodland. From Football Park, Adelaide versus Essendon on AFL Today.
Yes, welcome to Football Park for the final match in round 14. What a round it's been so far. It's Adelaide up against Essendon. A perfect night in Adelaide, a big crowd in attendance. A most important match for both teams. Adelaide has won 2 of its last 3, have won 3 out of 5 at this ground. And as we take a look at the graph and have a look at their form for season 1992, we can see that their biggest win for the year was 60 points over Brisbane. They've had 2 massive losses, one to St Kilda by 74, and Geelong where they hit their low of 123. But their graph is on the way up. For Essendon, they've won their last 3 matches straight. They've resurrected their season. Their last 3 wins have been by 43, 51-34. One bad sign for them, though. In their 6 losses, 4 of them have been by more than 50 points. The record between the two teams, as we look at the ladder, and we see that North Melbourne has gone above Sydney after today, but the significant one is that Geelong is on top of the ladder after Footscray held that position for the last 4 weeks. We see exactly where Essendon and Adelaide is. They must win to stay in touch with that top 6. The record between the two teams, Adelaide won at this ground at the same time on a Sunday evening last year in a tough game that they got away at the end, and in a low-scoring match earlier in the year at Windy Hill, Essendon successful by 45 points. Bernie Quinlan's working with me tonight. Bernie, let's have a look at the lineups. And firstly, Adelaide, Klug's out, and they're unlucky. Wiedemann's also out with a hand injury.
Yes, unfortunate for Adelaide because Wiedemann had played in every match of the year of 1992, but they do have a problem on their forward line. Ingerson has been named at centre-half forward. Ben Hart, who's played most of his football on the back line, has been named at full forward. I would be surprised if he lined up there. Also, Darryl Hart, who's played the last few weeks in the back line, I don't think he will line up in that forward pocket. Patterson has been brought in on the interchange, and alongside him is Murphy.
Hayes coming in today. Izard out, surprisingly, and coming in Grenville.
Yes, the 1991 Best and Fairest winner, Alan Izard, out of that Essendon lineup, but only the one change. Kickett has been in fine form in the middle. Somerville doing well at centre-half forward. They have plenty of height in this Essendon side. Salmon also in the forward pocket, and Alessio has done a fine job in the ruck since coming into that Essendon side.
Thanks for that, Bernie. As we look at the lineups, Dennis Committee will be co-commentating tonight. Max Stevens is on the ground and in the dressing rooms. He has the Mitsubishi Motors ground report. Good evening, Max.
Good evening, Bruce, and I tell you what, it is freezing down here. We had quite a bit of rain here in Adelaide during the week, but the good news, we've got blue skies as the lights start to come on here at Football Park, and our current temperature says it all, 13.9 degrees. Our expected high in Adelaide, 13 degrees, so we're past that at the moment, but as I said, it's freezing, and the reason it's cold, that wind, a northwesterly of about 15 to 20 k's, is blowing straight down the middle of the ground, left to right of screen. We would suggest 3 to 4 goals advantage. So the toss, pretty important here at Football Park. Ground condition good, but a lot of rain, as I said before, during the week. The forecast, fine and mild with strong winds.
Thanks for that, Max Stevens. We'll be back with the start of the match after this break. Yes, at Football Park tonight, a terrific scene, big crowd in attendance as you would expect, and a very good night for football. Wiedemann not playing for Adelaide, and Klug also out earlier on. Dennis Cometti and Bernie Quinlan with me at the moment. Dennis, your selection for tonight?
I think the Bombers, Bruce.
Why?
Well, I think that Adelaide have had problems in the past with tall forwards, and I think that could again be the case tonight. I saw them against St Kilda. Lockett and Lowe created lots of problems. I saw them the following week, actually, for their biggest loss of the season against the Cats. Brownless, also Stoneham and Ablett were a problem for them. So I think Somerville and Salmon tonight could prove troublesome.
Bernie?
Yes, I'm going the other way, Bruce. I don't know whether height will be a great advantage here playing under the lights, especially in these windy conditions. I know the Adelaide side does have a problem on that forward line, but I still think they'll do it here.
So the match about to commence at Football Park. Essendon with 3 consecutive victories behind them. Sean Wren, who looked very injured at the end of last week. Alessio, who goes against him. Chris Mitchell and Grant Vernon, the 2 umpires. Adelaide go to the left and Essendon to the right of screen. Essendon kicking with a breeze. Maybe worth 3 to 4 goals. Alessio the first tap. O'Donnell caught immediately in the centre. And it'll be a bounce down. A lot of rain in Adelaide over the last few days, but conditions are good tonight. A strong breeze blowing to the right. Wren wins the tap. Wanganeen got a high tackle. No free kick. Still with Wanganeen at centre wing. Ducked his head. Went underneath McGuinness in the end. Denham worried out of it by McDermott. Ben Hart. Ridley off the ground. Hart did pretty well to hold him up. Now O'Donnell going to ground off Ridley and out of play. Essendon attacking at half forward.
There's Bruce Ingerson lining up at full forward for the Adelaide Crows. And quite surprisingly, they've stuck with Micken playing at centre-half forward. He played very ordinarily last week in that position, but still playing there tonight.
Here's Derek Kickett inside the 50. Goes Goldwood and misses to the near side. And this crowd has really built up in the last 15 minutes or so. And still quite a few stranded on the road coming in that we can see from our commentary position. We'll be close to a full house. Here's Tasker. Essendon the first score. Tasker goes in short. Schwert up from the back pocket, goes wide. This is Bickley on the outer side towards the wing. Somerville is out there. With him is Marshall, who showed courage to go at that one. In the other direction, Anderson. Hard against the boundary line. High kick down towards half forward. Dick is there with Bickley. It falls behind, taken by Wren. Worth a kick, that one over the top to Schwert. McDermott down towards half forward. Thompson is there. With him Lee. Behind is Micken. Close to the boundary line. Can't keep it in. And it will be thrown in just inside the attacking 50 for the Crows.
That's where Micken really has his problems, trying to stoop down and pick up the ball off the ground. He does lack a lot of mobility for a player to be playing at centre-half forward.
Doing the ruck work against Alessio. Schwert with a quick high kick towards centre-half forward. And Thompson was in there. Wanganeen on the bottom of the pack. Brown over the top. And another ball up with Adelaide attacking. Essendon with the first score. Liptak, the 22-year-old, has played every match this season. Alessio wins the tap against Micken. Schwert caught trying to go through. Brown, a strong attack. Too high, though. Free kick to the Essendon captain. The man who's won the best and fairest on 2 occasions. Mark Thompson sweeps a handball wide. And away go the Bombers. Kieran Spawn has played a bit of football on this ground at West Adelaide in very similar colours to the ones he's wearing tonight. The kick up to centre wing. Wren underneath it. Ridley with a good fly at the back. Who's a good player, this Wren. To Andrew Jarman. An excellent kick. There's a paddock. Schwert didn't take it cleanly. Buick tries to run him down. Schwert sidesteps him. Goes very short to Micken. Good lead. Micken unable to take it. Anderson played very well. Runs off Micken. Could be a problem for Adelaide. Great kick. Out wide to Somerville. Kick it running for him. Jarman trying to close it off. Somerville goes into Salmon on a long lead. It's a good kick. An excellent kick. And in front of Smart, Salmon takes the mark. Bernie, this is about his maximum distance, so he'll kick from about 46, 47.
Yes, aided by the breeze, though. I think Brucey should make this quite easily. He's already won Essendon's goal kicking on 5 occasions. He's a proven goal kicker, Paul Salmon.
Made a good return from injury last week. He's hooked it a bit and just making it. And off fingers for a behind. So a wasted opportunity for the Bombers after an excellent build-up. They're 2 points.
Darryl Hart. They like to go short, Adelaide coming in. Well, here you go. Shorten up the middle. Well, they take a risk every time they do it. This is Denham in trouble. Now McGuinness on the burst. That's better. Here's Maynard on the wing. Kicks inside the attacking 50. Micken in front, had it, then dropped it. Should have held that one. Anderson again coming through with dash. Finds Hills. Over Jarman to kick it. Inside the centre square. Good looking kick. Salmon on the lead. He's taken this mark. About 35 metres from goal. Lovely kick. Good lead.
Yes, and that attacking move commencing at centre half back through Greg Anderson, picking up Mark Micken. Micken has been preferred at centre-half forward the last couple of weeks. Of course, the Crows' best and fairest winner last year. 14 votes in the Brownlow medal, and the runners going out to speak to Mark Micken. The change being made already. He's coming off the ground to be replaced by Paul Patterson.
Here's Salmon meantime. Good looking kick. It's a goal. Essendon making a very good start. They lead by 8 points.
Yes, this is a good start, but good to see the Corns recognise the problem very early in the game. There he is on the phone speaking to Graham Corns. A very good pass coming from Derek Kickett, but already Greg Anderson has been able to run from centre-half back on 2 occasions to put Essendon into attack.
Bombers by 8 points at Football Park. Salmon getting the first goal of the match. Micken off the ground, replaced by Patterson. Hills squares it out towards centre wing. Kilpatrick, a high one to centre-half forward. Ben Hart gets back, or Somerville. Free kick though in front to Maynard against Somerville over the shoulder. Swings it wide to Marshall. Hills to try and run him down. Just out of play now. So one of the veterans, Marshall, not veteran in terms of AFL but in terms of football, and one of the promising teenagers in the game against him in Hills.
Thrown in, Wren to the back. Jarman missed it. Denham. This is Werner, right half forward, pulls it back inside the 50. In front, Bickley was pushed in the back, and he'll take the free kick. An emerging player. Bickley across the ground, setting Schwirt a task out there. Locks arms with Spawn, kept his footing, and now breaks away. He's been very busy. In the opening minutes of this game, Schwirt kicks inside the 50 on the lead. Ingerson fisted away by Anthony Danaher. Back to Schwirt again. Well, Spawn should have grabbed him. Maynard to Brown. Outside the 50, spears the pass, and Ingerson on the lead is marked about 40 metres from goal.
Yes, I thought this player may have lined up at centre-half forward. He played the last quarter last week against Carlton in that position. He had plenty of opportunities early in the match against Carlton. In fact, 3 kicks within that 50-metre circle, and wasn't able to convert.
Ingerson kicks, sprays it. Murphy off his hands, Lee. I think the mark has been paid. It'll come back to Murphy. So they've still got to kick it. Ingerson's kick, not a particularly good one. And his approach didn't exactly exude confidence.
An ordinary kick there from Ingerson, and that was his problem last week. He does win the ball very well in that forward line for the Adelaide Crows.
So Murphy, sharp angle, should kick it. He's a right footer. It'll open up for him. Joe Montana, that's a great throw.
Of course, advantage cannot be paid there, Dennis, once a player has been awarded the mark only from a free kick. Can that advantage be paid?
Quite right, Bernie. Here's Murphy. Kicks and kicks through it. The Crows get their first goal, and they trail by 2 points.
Yes, coming from the boot of the former North Melbourne player. He's kicked 9 goals now for the 92 season, Murphy, and he is very strong overhead, just working his way to the front there. May have been a little bit fortunate to have been awarded the mark. It didn't matter anyway, because Scott Lee was there to clean up, and he's done particularly well on that forward line also.
8-6, the Bombers by 2 points at Football Park. Wren wins the tap. McDermott couldn't take it, attempted to. Wanganeen crashes his way through, no free kick. Ben Hart with it, worrying him out of it. Alessio, Denham off the ground. Jarman has to chase. Does well. The shepherding was very good. Schwirt again, who's been excellent early. McGuinness finds some space. Left foot to half forward. Lee did very well there, just getting rid of Thompson. To Brown, who can go all the way with a drop punt. Sprays it a bit. Murphy looking for a free kick, and still now pleading and out of play. Brown on the run, a chance there, Bernie.
Yes, he kicked three goals against Carlton last week, Bruce, and maybe that breeze just worried him out of it.
Schwirt started spectacularly. Patterson won the tap, could probably have taken it out of the air in the end. Kilpatrick gains 15 or 20 metres for the Bombers and runs it out of play. Terrific crowd in. The biggest crowd this season's 44,000 for Collingwood. The record crowd. And that crowd will be challenged tonight, that 45,000. Marshall to McGuinness. Not a good kick. Wanganeen in a hurry to centre half back. Straight to that man again.
He started well last week, Bruce, didn't he? Playing on Craig Bradley's shirt. And he's continued that very good form.
Probing kick. They'll contest about 25 metres out. No contest in the end. Ingerson. Anthony Ingerson directly in front. Well, almost. Slight angle. He'll kick from about 25 metres out, but every kick at goal for him is something of an adventure.
There's that mark again in front of a very experienced player, Anthony Danaher, All-Australian fullback last year, playing for Essendon. Ingerson has kicked 15 goals for the 92 season.
Ingerson misses to the near side.
Well, very similar to last week, Anthony Ingerson. He won the ball very well on that forward line, playing at full forward, but his conversion rate was shocking against Carlton, and he's continued on tonight.
Here's Harvey, straight down the middle. Alessio in front, off his hands. Jarman has been busy. McDermott to Schwert. Adelaide pump it back in. Ingerson forced to spoil that time. It falls forward to Anderson, who breaks away. Kicks wide. Spawn's in front from behind Bickley. Spawn goes back after it. McDermott crossing. Can't get there in time, though. Then backs off. Spawn, meantime, with plenty. Kicks it inside the 50. Clean bowls Wren. Tasker Shepherds. Wren comes back. They worked it pretty well. Unkind bounce. Maynard under pressure. Darryl Hart. They're conceding ground. Tasker gets some width on the hand pass, and Smart runs it up the ground. Nigel Smart, the All-Australian fullback last season, hand passes upfield. Should have kicked it. It's taken by Lee, going against the flow. Back to Marshall. Dragged off it. The kick still inside the boundary. Jarman cleverly. Smart tried to be too clever. It ricochets off Hills and goes out of bounds. Well, they made hard work of that on the eyes of Graham Corns. In fact, the face of Graham Corns.
Deft touch by Jarman a moment ago. Not matched by Smart. Wren at the back. Marshall. And a bounce down at centre wing. O'Donnell and Marshall. O'Donnell, who played his 100th game. His sister's been heavily involved in the netball series that Australia's beaten New Zealand in. So it's a talented family. At the highest level, they're playing the two big games in Australia. McDermott to McGuinness. Murphy and also Patterson. Brown over the top. Liptak had to sit and wait. A good tackle. Wanganeen, excellent. Held it up. Looks for a free kick. Doesn't get one. Still Adelaide with a chance. Murphy caught. Wanganeen again. Now McGuinness with an opportunity to go for goal and score the beauty. A typical McGuinness goal. Adelaide in front for the first time tonight at 2-1 to 1-2.
That was a magnificent kick from Tony McGuinness. And a great start by Adelaide. And kicking into a slight breeze. 3 or 4 goal advantage, in fact, probably to the team kicking to the right of screen. There's Murphy in all sorts of trouble. They fought very hard to win this ball, the Adelaide Crows, and that is a magnificent snap, 40 metres out. Of course, he's a natural left footer, Tony McGuinness.
Crows lead by 5 points. Out of the middle they come again. McGuinness, who kicked that last goal, towards centre half forward. Strong tackle applied on Thompson. Ball jarred free, held without it Lee, nothing doing. Thompson on his knees. Alessio. Kickett was held off the ball, no free kick. Alessio crashes in. Schwert doing very well, slaps it out wide. Well shepherded is O'Donnell by Kickett. As a result, he's got some time. Swings it out wide. Bickley knocks it across the boundary line. So a throw in on the outer side. Tony McGuinness getting that last goal. Runner-up in the best and fairest for the Crows last season as Kevin Sheedy looks on. He was runner-up to Mark Micken. They've had a contrasting start tonight. Micken off the ground. And McGuinness getting a great early goal. Here he is again. The hand pass not particularly good. Slapped on there by Buick. Well inside the 50. Werner. Was he held? Not according to either umpire. Maynard did well. And now Darryl Hart with some time. Breaking away from full back. Gets it to Marshall. And the veteran comes out of the back pocket towards the wing.
Darryl Hart continuing that movement. Gets a beautiful bounce. It sits. Left foot kicks a good one. Adelaide on a run. Patterson, who came on from Micken, looks for a lead. Drop punt, centering kick, good one, gives Ingleson every chance. Well played. A great lead and an excellent kick.
Wasn't it, Bruce? They delivered that ball from defence into attack. Precision football by the Crows.
Ingleson not wasting any time. He's kicked that one a little better. It's right there. It's a chance. Tapped away by Harvey. Anthony Danaher runs into a wall of trouble. Wanganeen still with Wanganeen. Little left footer squeezing it out towards O'Donnell on the boundary. And O'Donnell pretty happy to see it out of play. You can't blame a man for deliberate when he doesn't touch it, can you?
No, it's not a good start, though, by Essendon. I think Kevin Sheedy would have a few worries in the coaching box.
There's the time remaining. And our scoreline, the Crows by 5 points. Here's Liptak deep in the pocket. Goes Goldwood. Only went about 10 metres. Ingerson running away from goal to Jarman, who snaps from 30. Good looking effort. Just slides away behind. The Crows increase their lead. It's out to 6 points now. Anthony Danaher to bring it in. Great atmosphere here tonight. The stakes are very high. The loser will be in trouble, particularly Adelaide. This is Thompson across half back. And Essendon have a very hard draw. Alessio reads it brilliantly off hands from the wing. A hand pass intended for Ridley. Hart gets back, well played at close quarters, feeds it to Marshall. 2 players on the outer side, one of whom is Patterson. He marks in front, thought about going. He's down towards right half forward. A late inclusion in the 20. Wiedemann out of the team. He kicks to about 40 metres out from goal. Ingerson, who's got very good hands, has paid the mark. He's directly in front. He'll kick from 35.
He moves well, doesn't he, Ingerson? He leads all the time at every opportunity. He doesn't hang back. And there he is. He gets to the front, always works his way to the front if possible. Up against quality opposition tonight too in Anthony Danaher.
Well, the good thing is nobody gave him advice. Here's Ingerson. He's kicked and kicked well.
Three, 2-1-2. Adelaide by 2 goals. Wren and Alessio. Adelaide go forward again. Wanganeen gets about his 5th touch for the match towards half forward. Attacking at Tasker. Left foot to centre wing. Marshall has to go. He does. Thompson was at the back with Lee. And Thompson pushed in the back in the end. But over the line and out of play. Bombers kicking with the aid of a breeze. Trailed by 2 goals. Have won 3 straight. Adelaide beat Hawthorn at Waverley Park a fortnight ago. Here's Alessio. Crunches his way through. Smothered very good by Bickley. An emerging player, I think Dennis described him as. Marshall to McDermott. Wanganeen in the front spot.
Good signs there, that smother there from Bickley, saving 50 metres for the Crows.
Yes, they look sharp at the present time. Here's Wanganeen. He's been playing very well in recent weeks. Through the wing towards half forward. Big pack, strong mark held by Somerville, who, like Wanganeen, has been a star in their 3 victories. Somerville and Salmon loom large in more respects than one on the forward line. It goes towards Salmon. One hand, couldn't control it. Bickley again at close quarters. Hart feeds it back to his namesake. And the kick goes out wide. Mark is held out there by Tasker. Tasker from right half back to Jarman, who's doing well on kicking. Kicks it down towards half forward. Well-weighted kick. Patterson got a hand to it. Rakes it back in. Patterson on his knees. Into the path of Liptak. Liptak 30 metres out. Slices it across the face. Murphy. Murphy on the kick-off line is marked. And another goal coming up for the Crows. Patterson did very well.
Yes, terrific play by Patterson. And certainly the crowd factor comes into it over here at Football Park. Murphy should convert from this distance.
He's kicked it. The Crows at 4-2. Murphy has 2 of those. Essendon 1-2.
He now has 10 goals for the season, Michael Murphy. The leading Adelaide goal kicker, in fact, is Rod Jamieson, who's kicked 20 goals for the year, so they're not featuring amongst the goals all that much, the Adelaide forwards. There we see Liptak, very busy player on that forward line for the Adelaide Crows. Murphy, very strong overhead. He certainly can take a grab. 2 very good early goals.
4-2, 1-2. Adelaide into the breeze. with now a substantial break of 3 goals. Wren to go against Alessio. 2 players who you'd expect to be around for a long time. Jarman crunched out of it in the centre. Hill's worried out of it. McGuinness, if he gets a good bounce, is in the right spot, goes to the boundary line and gets there in the end. Denham chasing hard with Tasker. And the Adelaide crowd supporting every movement at the moment. They're right behind this Crows team. I'm sure that win against Hawthorn has given them an enormous lift a couple of weeks ago. Wren, McDermott tried to barge his way through, so did McGuinness. Kickett was there. O'Donnell gets a little one away. Marked by Bickley, quickly out wide. Schwert versus Buick. This will be a good go. Buick with blinding pace runs away, gets legged by Schwert. Free kick.
Not bad tactics there by Stephen Schwert, because Buick would have been away and running. He has got blistering pace.
Brilliant player, isn't he? Magnificent kick by Buick, 60 metres. Ben Hart now. Salmon first grab. Mark paid.
Well, Salmon didn't think he took that mark, Bruce.
No, he was off, wasn't he?
He was off.
But Hart was running across the front, but it looked as if Salmon was the only man to touch it first up.
Well, I think Salmon believed that Ben Hart may have got a finger to that ball as he came across there. He certainly wasn't going back claiming that mark. Essendon have made a change already. Grenvold on, and he has replaced Willie Dick.
30th goal for the season for Salmon if he scores. Drop punt, leans back, kicks it straight through. It's 4-2 to 2-2. Salmon's got his second.
Yes, well, he's the danger man, of course, on that Essendon forward line. There's Willie Dick. He's been replaced, as I said, by Grenvold. Buick, the long kick into the forward line, looking for the marking power. And there he was, Salmon, up with the one hand again, and he was off. There was no doubt about that. He didn't think he took that mark, Paul Salmon.
So the margin 12 points. Sean Wren having a terrific season against Somerville. Wren wins it down too. Patterson feeds it off. Liptak goes in short towards half forward and Lee. Lee squares the ball. Schwert going down the ground has taken the mark. Well, this is interesting. Schwert's been a star. If you look back over their 3 victories, Essendon, they certainly have been helped by their centre line of Spawn, Kickett and Hills, but so far in this game they're being eclipsed by Marshall, Jarman and Schwert. And here's Schwert going at goal from about 30 metres out. They are dominating across the middle. Schwert, good kick. Goal. Adelaide 5-2, Essendon 2-2.
Yes, there's no doubt about that, Dennis. They have, the centre line especially has started very well. Stephen Schwert, a star last week. He can certainly play. He's been injury plagued throughout his career. In fact, he broke his jaw twice last year in 1991. He'd only kicked 2 goals before that one for 1992. But he is giving Essendon plenty of problems on that outer wing.
5-2-2-2 Adelaide lead. Wren and Somerville now on the ball. Going to ground with Schwert. Now McDermott got kicked in the hand. Quickly Kilpatrick towards half forward. Maynard unable to control it for the moment. Looking for support. Gets it from Hart, who's playing very well in defence. So's this man, Jarman. Quickly out wide. Adelaide again with a run. Bickley from half back to Brown with a handball. Possession football. A poor kick. Kickett should make it and could make them pay for it. Takes on one player, then goes to Salmon with a beautiful kick. Well played by Smart at the back though. Adelaide with the numbers. McGuinness should be able to use it onto the right foot and kicks it to centre wing. Schwert got a good bounce and now Bickley.
Bickley close to the boundary line. Good pressure. Pushed him off the ball. McDermott lacking support to be holding it and is. O'Donnell with a free kick on the outer side. Wants to go and does. A centering kick towards half forward. Somerville stays out of the contest, and the man he was standing next to on the ground initially, Maynard, took a very good mark to Hart. Tasker sold into trouble. Try to get it back to Hart. Holding the ball. That's a quick whistle. He did 3/4 of a revolution. Coming back to Spawn.
He was always going to be in trouble though from that hand pass, Dennis.
It was revolting. Chance there for Salmon. Knocked away by Kickett. Paddling it across half forward, Derek Kickett. Interesting. O'Donnell holding the ball, a decision against the Essendon player O'Donnell. Schwert. Some nondescript football there from players of both sides. Maynard gives it to McDermott. Probing kick. Ingerson on the lead. That's got it. Ingerson's got it. Just inside the 50. And this will test him up into the breeze. He wants to move it on quickly. 4 players down there. Ingerson's kick will fall about 2 metres short. Anderson across the goal face. Greg Anderson.
On his right leg. His non-preferred gets good distance though. Spawn, who started quietly, loves to run with the foot. He goes over the top, a good handball. Werner, well, he sold one to Bickley. He had Hills inside. Goes with a long kick right towards the goal square. Salmon run out with Smart. Gets rid of Smart with too much strength. But a free kick. What do you think, Bernie?
Yes, I thought the free kick was there actually, Bruce. He did manhandle him before the ball arrived.
Gee, it was a good kick by Werner, wasn't it?
Excellent kick. Essendon has made a change on that outer wing. Grenvold now playing on Stephen Schwert, and Spawn on the members' side wing.
It was Wren into Darryl Hart. Now Thompson. Anderson, left foot. Good looking kick into... Oh, Alessio should have taken that one. Robbed off him. Bickley. Marshall. Concedes some ground. He could have kicked it to Schwert, but it was a very poor kick. Doesn't normally make those mistakes. Grenvold to kick it. Now, if it sits for kick it, he could have a shot, the sort of player he is. He took his time, then squares it. Salmon the target. Oh, Wren well played. He's a terrific young footballer, isn't he?
Yes, he's getting back in defence too. He's helping out these defenders very nicely, getting back there and helping out Smart, playing on the taller player in Paul Salmon.
Maynard away at half-back.
Right half-back, Maynard towards the wing. Kick it, and Jarman. Jarman does well, gets it to the voice, supplied by McGuinness. McGuinness against the flow, squares it. Here's Marshall down towards half forward. The Crows looking very effective at the present time. He sits it up, intended for Lee. It was fisted away by Thompson. Murphy confronted Harvey. Couldn't restrict the hand pass though. It comes to Bickley now. He got it from Murphy, in short to McDermott. So McDermott between wing and half forward. Good thing he's not a policeman. He'd be very confusing. All sorts of signals there. What does it all mean, Bernie? You're the expert.
Well, in the end, I think he'll just pop it up in the front there somewhere.
Derek Kickett favoured by the kick. Opts out of the contest. Jarman had it, then lost it. Well done by Liptak. It comes back to Jarman. And Jarman's effort misses to the right-hand side. And Murphy again busy in that pack. He's got quick hands, Murphy. But Jarman couldn't finish it off. There's the time remaining. And Adelaide doing very well. They lead 5-3 to 2-2.
Jarman very inaccurate in front of goals in this 92 season. That was his 11th behind. He's kicked 4 goals only for the year.
A lot of them in that situation too, Bernie, on the run.
Exactly.
Cool to say it, but gee, wouldn't Darren have gobbled that one up? There's O'Donnell to Denham. Through half-back. Hart and Buick. Hart put himself in the front spot. Ridley's handball okay. Spawn controlled it well. Quickly back. Smart takes the chance. Tries a half volley. Does very well. Brilliantly, in fact. Wonderfully well. To Wren. To Hart. It's good football. Stops. Props. Jarman. Sets it up. Left foot. Excellent. Patterson made a big dive. And did pretty well. Now, Lee goes to Ingerson. Danaher at the back, missed by Brown, off the ground Denham, Lee, now McGuinness he should kick it too, he does. I thought he was going to use McGuinness earlier, didn't you? But he couldn't quite get the handball to him at the time.
No, well spotted, Bruce. Tony McGuinness on a pretty tight angle, not favoured kicking from this side of the ground, of course, being a left footer, but he will be kicking from about 40-45 metres out. Probably will be able to make the distance from there.
Well, he improves his angle and now goes for it with a drop punt. Well, he gets the distance, but never a chance in the run, so to speak. Adelaide 5-4 to 2-2. McGuinness has started well. He made a remarkable recovery this year from appendicitis. Back in a couple of weeks. He missed just 2 matches. Anthony Danaher to bring it back in. And Essendon, 20 points in arrears. Early days yet. We saw West Coast yesterday come from... 1 shot to 9 behind it, or 10 behind a quarter time and get out. There's Kickett across to O'Donnell to centre half forward. Alessio the target as the siren sounds a quarter time, and it's been a Crow quarter. No question about that. They lead by 20 points. It's 5-4 to 2-2. Max reporting 5-4-2-2, 34-14. Well, it hasn't been Sampson on him, that's for sure, because he's played very well. Wren at the start. Jarman got a high one. Quick kick by O'Donnell around the corner. Bickley takes a mark in the centre square. Started well. Not a great kick. Liptak, I thought he meant it for Schwert originally. Liptak did well. Wren's going to have some reflex. Dropped it in the end. Maybe a bit lucky. Grenville with some strength. Came off the interchange in the first quarter. O'Donnell to Wanganeen. He started very well in the first couple of minutes. Bickley with courage. Oh, fingertip. That would have been hard. Now Hart, who's playing very well in the back pocket, to centre half forward. Anderson with a big shove. Liptak with some pace. Handball not good. Hills read it well. And from centre half back with an ordinary looking kick, Wren in the box seat.
Wren content to knock it forward. McDermott did brilliantly. Bickley towards half forward. Patterson just got it above the turf. So Patterson just outside the 50. Sits it up, intended for Ingerson. Out he comes, hands to it, couldn't hang on. Marshall goes to ground. Strong tackle by Hills. And the ball up about 35 metres out from the Crows' attacking goal. They lead by 20 points.
I like very much Ingerson at full forward the way he leads. He's always prepared to make himself available.
O'Donnell has been busy. Jarman elected to play on. He pulls it back towards full forward. Harvey is down there, gambles and takes the mark from behind.
It's called touch off the boot.
Was it? Well, in that case, Harvey towards the outer side. This is Marshall again. Sends it back in. Another contest about 5 metres out this time. Pushed in the back was Wanganeen. He'll get the free. Wanganeen. Little chip pass. Gets it across to Thompson. His first season as skipper of the Bombers towards the wing. Bickley, eyes only for the ball. Should have got 2 kicks there.
He could have taken either, couldn't he, Dennis?
Yep.
Grenville the second one. If the umpire had missed the first, Grenville very high with that second tackle.
Having a terrific season, Mark Bickley. From the wing, back towards half forward. Ill-directed kick, though. Anderson simply stood his ground and takes the mark. The 86 McGarry medalist, third in Essendon's best and fairest last season.
Neat drop punt at Maynard, always in the best spot. Somerville at the back and Grenville out of position.
Well, the ball holding up, of course, kicking into the breeze there, and Somerville must make himself available. Getting in front of Maynard. Maynard read it very well and took that easy chest mark.
Schwert wide, Murphy on a long lead. Marshall, Thompson with him, still Marshall. Now Brown can go for goal with the left foot, bring it back, just missing. 5-5-2-2. So Adelaide starting off pretty well in the second term. Brown, the ex-Port Adelaide 22-year-old. Just done some adding up, Bernie, and I did mention Salmon had kicked 30 for the season. It's 26. I can't get past 24, so it's 26 this year. 24 and 2 going into tonight.
Danaher, members side with a kick. Schwert in front, had to go and did. Anderson in trouble. Kick it. Across his own half back line, Derek Kickett. Clever kick. Grenville running on. Has marked it midway between half back and centre. Centres the ball. Poor effort though. McDermott.
Well done by McDermott. The leading possession winner in the AFL in 92. Recognised the danger. Got that back there very quickly.
Hand passes to Darryl Hart. Big attempt at the mark down there by Patterson. Body to body. Ingerson and Danaher. Well played Wanganeen. Lunging to the ground, he gets the hand pass to Chris Danaher, who boots it towards midfield. Hart was up, had it knocked away by Denham. With dash was Buick, taken high. He'll get the free alongside the centre circle. He's very adept at knocking the ball away from himself and winning a free. Buick, long kick, spawns off the ground. Salmon, surrendered front position. Werner tries to go off the ground, slapped out of there by Denham, taken by Lee. Now McDermott. Odds on for the best and fairest with the Crows. Long kick inside the attacking 50. Good leap and mark. Ridley plays on immediately. This is Thompson. Across half back. Essendon needing the next goal. Thompson towards the wing. Not a particularly good kick. Alessio, like a base runner going to second, takes the mark.
Goes wide. Kilpatrick. Another first-year player towards Salmon. On a lead. Smart just able to take it off him in the end. Now Buick. Kick coming back.
He must get that free, Bruce. Nigel Smart. Got his body in the right position. and charged into by the Essendon player. In a great game last week, Smart held Kernahan to only 1 goal.
Well, after an indifferent start to the season, with all the fire coals and every other thing that went on, he's really come good again. He was terrific last year, the AFL player in this team. Now Anderson to attack the goal from 50 metres. Wren getting back and Smart, and they managed to put it out of play.
They made a real mess of that, actually, Bruce, didn't they? Wren seemed to be in position to take that mark. Also had Smart. Had some talking there from Wren. He could have got back there and taken it.
Find themselves now defending Bernie in the pocket. Michael Long looking on a moment ago. Would love to be there. Jarman read it very well from Wren to Maynard. Daryl Hart has played this role very well as a sweeper type, end of handball situation. That kick not as effective. Marked by Wanganeen. Probably had the better of lip tap. Now Kilpatrick through the centre square with a centering kick. Ben Hart's big stretch. Alessio an awkward one. Chris Danaher has come off interchange. Left foot giving Salmon a very good chance. And he takes the mark very well at half forward. It's been the forward, Bernie. Really, Essendon's only forward so far.
Somerville's been quiet. There's Salmon on the lead out in front. A good chest mark. Having a look at that windsock, Bruce. That breeze may be not as strong as we thought it was. It may have died down since quarter time, so Salmon should be able to make the distance from here.
Looked to a rather limp there. 26 goals in this is 10th match for the season. Bernie mentioned earlier, 5 times the leading goal kicker at this club. Drop punt, and he's just pushed it. And again, not a strong kick by Salmon. His distance is around 35 to 45 metres. He's never been a prodigiously long kick, of course, with a bad knee injury he had. It wouldn't have helped earlier in his career. 5-5-2-3.
Sean Tasker. They like it short up the middle, but Tasker decides eventually to go for distance, and that's a powerful kick. Somerville got a fist on it. Wren, cast in the role of a rover, gets it across to Schwert, close to best on ground. Jarman to Marshall. The 3 centre liners combining, but Marshall lost it, then proceeds to get into the back of Denham, and Denham will get the free kick beside the centre circle.
Well done there by Alessio, the big bloke applying that tackle.
Denham, high kick back inside the 50. Salmon's the target, surrounded. Very good mark. Terrific mark.
Yeah, that was strength, wasn't it?
Short one, looking for Chris Danaher. Who's directly in front, but not much closer. So the Bombers looking a little better to start this second term. They trail 2-3 to 5-5. Chris Danaher. Good looking kick. It's straight, it's a goal. Essendon get their third, they're 3-3. Adelaide a 5-5.
Yes, it's a real must game for Essendon. They come up against tough opposition over the next couple of weeks. They play the Eagles at the MCG next week, followed by St Kilda the week after. So if they want to feature in the 1992 finals, they really must win this game here at Football Park tonight against the Adelaide Crows.
$35-21 at Football Park, 14-point margin. Alessio winning the tap. Jarman and Alessio in the centre square. McDermott over the top. And McGuinness there as well. And Maynard on the absolute bottom along with Somerville. So restart. Essendon still very much in this contest. Wren won the tap. McDermott had it taken off him. Ben Hart got a high tackle. He'll get a free kick. Just 17 years of age. Had a terrific first season. His drop punt to the 50-metre line. Marshall sat and waited for it. Ingerson will get a free kick. Being held on to against Danaher.
Well, Danaher had a couple of spells last week, Bruce, on the interchange bench. They did have problems at full-back. Tried a couple of plays there against the Brisbane Bears.
So Ingerson just pops it up towards the goal square, hoping for a mark, and Murphy in the front takes it.
Murphy, who is very strong overhead.
Well, you've got to try and spoil that, don't you, from behind?
Well, there's 2 Adelaide Crows players there, and there's Harvey suggesting that he was pushed out. But Murphy always prepared to get in front also.
Going for goal number 3 from 15 metres out. The drop punt looks good. 3 to Murphy. The steadier for Adelaide at 6-5 to 3-3.
And really, Essendon has a problem in that area. Mark Harvey who has been playing very good football at centre-half back, has lined up in that back pocket on Michael Murphy. And already Murphy's kicked 3 goals in that position, and maybe Kevin Sheedy, well, I think he would be considering making a change. I can't work out why Harvey wouldn't line up again at centre-half back when he's been in such good form.
The margin was 20 points at quarter time. It's back to 20 now. As the time remaining till half-time, Rucks go at it, Alessio and Wren. Wren on his knees. He's so quick to go back after the ball. He's a marvellous young player. And we'll have a ball up. Played half a dozen games last year. Gave a glimpse of his enormous potential, and he's going right on with it this season. Not a good bounce. Jarman pushed off it by Chris Danaher. Wren goes in again. Lee scrambles it forward, taken by Kickett. Rather untidy handball, sold Denham into trouble. Back comes Kickett again, goes off the ground down towards half forward. Bickley leads back in the race. Bickley turns and breaks away from half back. Good kick to Marshall. Well, he stayed behind. Jarman goes short, gets it away. Ridley's got it.
Ridley now playing centre-half back for Essendon. Anderson on the ball, or he could be playing on the wing even on Schwert.
O'Donnell. This is Thompson. Up from half back towards half forward. Big pack congregating at the fall of the ball. Alessio couldn't hang on. Bickley again dragged to ground. Grenville like a cork in the ocean, bouncing to his feet. Kickett's got it. 50 out. Draws a man cleverly. Gets it across to Buick. And he won't miss. 25 metres out. Buick puts through the goal.
Against Wren. Next goal vital for both teams here. Adelaide to maintain their edge. Essendon to really challenge Harvey, who might be up from fullback. Bernie quickly to Darryl Hart. Not a good kick. Hart's done well on Buick so far.
Yes, it looks like Werner's back in the back line, picking up Murphy now, Bruce.
A real goal kicker, Werner. He's an opportunist. Smart on a lead. Well played. Good mark. Held up by Ridley in the end. Goes inside to Ben Hart, who takes Kickett on, gets away with it. Here's Schwert. High left foot to fall forward. Ingerson running back at the back. Werner. Now Brown, who read it all right. Liptak looks for a free kick. Murphy goes to ground. With him Kilpatrick and also Werner. And ball up, Adelaide in attack. So what's happened, Bernie? Werner to the back line and Harvey.
Harvey's playing it in the forward pocket, it looks like, alongside Paul Salmon. It's a strange move. I would have left Werner on the forward line. His goal-kicking potential is unlimited. He kicked 4 goals. Well, he's actually only played, this is his 3rd game, and in his first 2 games he kicked 4 goals in both those games. So he's a very good leader and can kick the ball very accurately from around about the 50-metre area. So surprisingly cast in the role of a defender tonight.
Hills with a free kick from half-back. Centre wing. Somerville, Wren. Maynard at the back. Wren got his hand on it. Alessio. Well played by Thompson. To Anderson. Under some pressure to the space. Bickley getting back there. Tasker attacking it. Grenville running straight at him. And Tasker off the ground and out of play. See, the more I see of Bickley, Bernie, he's looking like he's going to be the McDermott of 2 or 3 years' time, doesn't he, when Chris finally gives it away?
He's been magnificent tonight. He's shown enormous courage on a couple of occasions, running back with the flight of the ball.
Bottom of most packs, which has been McDermott's role for so many years at Glenelg, now at Adelaide. O'Donnell's kick, Buick looking for a free.
He's in deep trouble, is Buick. Hart with him. And we've got a whistle right on the 50. 6-5 to 4-3. The Crows lead. Murphy has 3 goals. Salmon has 2. As the time remaining. Mitchell bounces it down. Wren towards the boundary line. Good executive thinking. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Wren so interesting to watch. So quick to go after the ball when he contests in a situation like this. Be plenty of wear and tear on the young man. Kick it only as far as Hart. Jarman breaks away from half-back. Probing kick towards the middle. Ridley did well. Gets it on the ground. Kilpatrick. Another untidy hand pass. The class of Anderson will prevail. Hooks it high down towards half forward. Denham didn't know where the ball was. Brilliantly played there by McGuinness to Wren. Over the top to Schwert. To Jarman. Brown. Forward of the wing with space. Kicks inside the 50. Not a particularly good kick, but it hung there. And Patterson, who was headed towards the boundary, came back and was still able to take the mark.
Unfortunately there for Essendon, Ridley slipping at the critical stage, just allowing Patterson to take that.
Patterson from outside the 50 goes goalward. That's a massive kick. It clears everybody. It's a goal. 7 goals to Adelaide. Patterson into the side at the expense of the injured Wiedemann today. Gets his first. Adelaide 7-5, Essendon 4-3.
There's the mark again. You see Ridley just slipping there at the critical stage, allowing Patterson to take that mark, and from about 52 metres out, just sat it up there, allowing the breeze to do a little bit. And that's his first goal for 1992, playing in his 4th game.
Back to that 20-point margin again, 47-27. Ren Alessio, Jarman having a very good match. Left foot Wanganeen and a lip tack. Wanganeen went to ground, tucked his head, got caught, and it'll be a bounce down.
Yes, Jarman doing very well, isn't he, Bruce, on kick it?
He's given away a couple of balls when he's been streaming into attack, but he's had a lot of touches.
A couple of chances he could have converted also. He's kicked 2 behinds.
Danaher doing the ruck work. Ingerson over the top. It was missed by Patterson. Ridley's quick kick. Here's Jarman against the flow. Tries to break the tackle. Does it very well. Wren gets swamped in the end by Kickett. Jarman cleverly. Brown held it up and up. Bickley, who's been excellent, gets a high tackle. The ball. Well, he had plenty of time, but the tackle looked high.
Certainly did.
Grenvold from the centre square to centre half forward. Harvey the target. Played a lot of his football, most of it up forward. Jarman hip and shouldered him. Now they go over the top of Harvey. Bounce down.
Yes, he was the leading goal kicker in 1985, Mark Harvey. So he's very used to that forward line. Not a problem playing there, of course.
Somerville got it down. Denham Sockers it forward. Taken by Buick inside the 50. Awkward angle. He pulls it back, and Salmon has taken yet another mark. He's only about 5 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Yes. This should be his 3rd, of course. Kieran Spawn about to come back on for Essendon. Alessio has been taken from the ground. And Paul Salmon from only about 15 metres out.
Kieran Spawn. He's been in good form in recent weeks, but now all eyes on Paul Salmon. He's kicked it. His 3rd, Essendon's 5th. Essendon 5-3, Adelaide 7-5.
Yes, Essendon hanging in there, especially with Paul Salmon converting on that forward line. He's kicked 3 goals now, along with Michael Murphy, who's also kicked 3 goals playing for the Adelaide Crows. But there's that mark. He's just too big and strong at the moment for Nigel Smart. When he uses his body and gets in front, it's very difficult for Smart to spoil.
Bombers hang in at 5-3 to 7-5, 33 to 47, 14-point margin. Kick it. Free kick going to Essendon. And they'll go to kick it in the centre square. This is a critical time, Bernie, because the Bombers have got within 14 points 3 times in this term, and Adelaide's been able to get the goal back to half forward. Marshall with some good defensive work. They caught. And free kick to Essendon. Denham. Salmon again on the lead, and a good stretch and mark once again.
It's almost impossible to stop Paul Salmon when he decides to lead.
Their problem is getting it down there tonight, isn't it? Once they get it down there, he looms as a very big danger.
That's why we see Alessio, who's done most of the ruck work, having a spell on the interchange bench. And Somerville doing the ruck work in his absence. Paul Salmon is creating quite a few headaches for Nigel Smart.
Kick from about 40 metres. Important one for the Bombers. This brings them right back within 8 points. Leans back, high drop punt. He's kicked it pretty well. Looks a goal. It is. 4 to Salmon and 6 to Essendon. And they're within 8 points of the Adelaide Crows at 7-5 to 6-3.
That's why Paul Salmon really the difference as far as Essendon is concerned, because Salmon is providing a very good target playing at full forward. He's now kicked 4 goals too. And the thing is, I don't think Adelaide has another option. Smart probably well equal to the best fullback in this Adelaide side.
7-5 to 6-3 then. Wanganeen. High kick down towards Salmon once more. Salmon on his chest this time. He's doing it.
Played against him.
Yes, and behind, but that time he's been penalised. Well, it's a pretty tough decision watching them come at the ball as I did.
I didn't see a lot in it myself, actually,
No.
Dennis.
Smart playing in front. He's been awarded the free. He goes towards the outer side. Hills holding on. There'll be a free kick to Marshall, who's been very busy. And Hills and McDermott getting involved. The ball coming to Marshall. As I said before the game, Adelaide had some problems with Lockett. Well, who doesn't? The ball comes down towards half forward, and then the following week with Brownless and Stoneham. Lockett and Lowe, Brownless and Stoneham, they loom as big problems for most teams. Patterson on the outer side, but certainly Adelaide don't have a lot of alternatives, as Bernie was saying. Patterson feeds it to Lee, kicks towards the middle, kick it was held. He'll get the free kick. 7-5, 6-3, the Bombers working back into this game. This is Thompson. Puts it in the air, it hangs a long time, but Chris Danaher able to take the mark. Kick it cruising by, he ignores that. He goes to Kilpatrick, storming up the middle. That was ambitious. Hart got him.
That was a wonderful tackle there by the young bloke, Ben Hart.
Ben Hart laying the tackle and getting the free.
And taking a long time to get that ball back to Hart was Grenvold.
Hart inside the centre square, kicks towards half forward. Ridley outmanoeuvred there by Patterson. It runs free. McGuinness goes off the ground once, pops on the ball, pushed out of it by O'Donnell, who works it to the boundary line. It'll be thrown in.
Kevin Sheedy looking on, just over 7 minutes remaining. Back on the phone for an instruction. Critical time here for the Bombers. They've done well to stay in this game into the breeze in the second term, outscoring Adelaide. Schwerk tried to get a kick away. Liptak's handball good. Brown should go. Left foot goes for it and kicks it. 8-5, 6-3. It was like one of those putts at the US Open, Bernie. It was always going to just go in at the end.
Yes, I think he would have been holding his breath in the end there, Bruce. We see this in replay. There's a tap out. Schwerk just couldn't get a foot to that ball, but David Brown, skirting around that pack beautifully, was able to bring that one back. And David Brown, a badly needed goal here for Adelaide, just to steady the ship.
The margin 14 points. Wanganeen goes to ground. This is Jarman coming away towards half forward. Not a particularly good kick, Werner. With some time, swings it out wide. Anderson stretching. Schwerk in close attendance. Anderson, hurried kick down towards half forward. Well played by Maynard, outnumbered. Gets it to Lee, who kicks it hurriedly towards centre half forward. Chris Danaher goes back, takes the mark, plays on to Ridley. Arches the back as he storms away from half back, kicking towards half forward. Somerville had it knocked away by Hart. Wren, great dexterity by the big man, gets it away to Lee. Lee, the defensive side of the wing, towards half forward. Patterson has been a focal point on the forward line. Generally a defender, but tonight doing very well. He came on early in the game in place of Mark Micken.
Yes, well, Micken was moved very early in the game after Greg Anderson, who started at centre half back and is now playing on the wing, had run off him on a couple of occasions, and Patterson cast into the role of a centre half forward, doing very well, especially above his head. He has taken some strong marks.
Going at his second, if he gets it, the margin will be 20 points. He's got it.
Let's have a look at that Mark Scott Lee, who's played on the forward line the last few weeks. And Patterson certainly creating problems there for Essendon defenders. Ridley playing at centre half back, rather surprisingly, because Anderson started off okay. And Kevin Sheedy switching the players around. He's not scared to do that.
9-5, 6-3, 59 to 39. And Danaher robbed it off Jarman, but Liptak will get a free kick, high tackle. Centre square. His handball a moment ago to Brown was very good under pressure. Drop punt. Patterson again the target. Well, he's turning Ridley inside out at the moment. Just a little further out than he was when he kicked the first of his two goals, but only a metre or so, and you wouldn't count him out here, Bernie.
Oh, he kicked one from about 52, didn't he, Bruce? It's from about 55.
Drop punt. Won't quite make it. Right there, Ingerson. Chris Danaher decides not to concede. Well, took a chance, got away with it. Drop punt. Anderson and Schwert. Well played, Schwert at the back. Again Patterson. Round the body out on the full. Not so good that time, but he's getting a lot of touches. Anderson doing well on Schwert in this term. 9-5-6-3. And Werner to bring her back in for the Bombers.
In the back pocket, one of 6 players playing today for Essendon who played in the South Australia National Football League. He puts it high. Somerville, big leap. Patterson also up there. O'Donnell towards the boundary line. Schwert, so busy in the first term, goes back. Pulls it across towards centre half forward. Good mark is taken by Thompson. Great judgment. Thompson at half back. They got to within 8 points. It's back to 20 points now. Across the ground. Good kick. Harvey on the lead. Mark Harvey plays on. Goes looking for Salmon, and why not? Salmon's in front this time. Could have almost been held. It comes to Denham. Lays it off to Hills. A question of accuracy here. No, he's got more than that to contend with. Smart took him high, though, and Hills will get the free kick, and Smart can't believe it.
Let's have a look at that, Dennis. Hills taking on Smart. Pretty hard to see there because the Adelaide player just cut across at the critical time.
I think it was the left hand that hit him in the face, and not the tackling arm.
You're probably right too.
So Hills, who perhaps should have kicked it earlier, now has this set shot from about 35 metres out and should get the goal. Paul Hills. 6-3, 9-5. This will pull it back to 14 points. Good game of football now. Hills, not a good kick. Way offline, out of bounds on the full in the opposite pocket.
Well, he hadn't kicked a goal before tonight, actually, Dennis. For 1992, he's actually only kicked 3 in his career at Essendon.
He obviously thought about it.
Wren. Somerville again, a big fly. Chris Danaher across the front with a mark. Centering kick. Salmon the target. Smart and Wren get back. Jarman didn't take it with him. Kick it. Wren did very well to hold, kick it up. Ben Hart. McDermott. Not so good tonight. O'Donnell off one leg. High kick towards the goal square. Buick being held.
He was held.
Surely.
Yes, he's got it. He picked it up. He was being held by the arm, the left arm there, by Bickley. And an obvious free kick, although the arm was being held behind. I thought maybe out of the umpire's vision. Buick doing the right thing, throwing his arm out there. Bruce making sure the umpire saw it.
Don't think he's ever missed doing that. It's a good kick, Buick. He'd put this one down, drop punt, goes for it and kicks it through. To the Buick, and the Bombers just keep hanging in. 9-5-7-3, and when you consider they were trailing by 20 points with the breeze in the first quarter, this has been a very good second term for them.
Yes, it has, Bruce, and probably they've been able to win the ball out of the middle on more occasions than Adelaide. There, an obvious free kick being held there by Mark Bickley, and well spotted by the umpire.
Darren Buick has 2 goals, runner-up in Essendon's best and fairest last season. No, 2. And they've got the new ball. And umpire Mitchell will have first use of it. Somerville against Wren. Good bounce too. Wren gets it down. Jarman slung off the kick. O'Donnell. He's had a good second quarter. Kicks for space. Grenvold stumbles. Interesting. Buick soccers. And the ball has gone out of bounds on the bounce and will be thrown in down towards the attacking 50 for the Bombers. 9-5-7-3. Adelaide in front. Minute 40 remaining till half-time. Wren punched away by McGuinness, who's drifted out of the game in this second term. Denham gains about 20 metres. It goes out of bounds once more for another throw-in. So the margin 20 points at quarter time. And now they've pulled it back to 14. A goal here. It was down as low as 8. They could go in with that differential. Somerville's in front. Got a hand to it. Danaher on his knees. Gets to his feet. McDermott's got him. McGuinness over the ball. Didn't have it. They go in pretty solidly, and another whistle. So a ball up about 30 metres out from Essendon's attacking goal, and the clock is down to just under a minute.
Wren. Front spot goes towards the boundary line. Bickley looks for a free. Not there. And runs it out again. So Adelaide very much defending here. They realise they've got a handy little cushion, not a big one, but they wouldn't want to give another goal away because Essendon would go in at half-time with a lot of momentum. Somerville did well to get rid of Wren. Maynard against the flow. The handball was accurate. McGuinness, Adelaide should be safe now. They're down to under 30 seconds. Jarman, who's had a lot of touches. Not a very good kick. Brown able to read it well. Caught by O'Donnell. Excellent tackle. The Jarman kick was just sitting up there for a while, but the clock ticks away to about 10 seconds, so the half-time score should remain 9-5, 7-3. Wren. Marshall. Siren about to sound. Fight going on here between McDermott and Somerville in the centre, and players coming from everywhere, a little bit like St Kilda and Collingwood a couple of weeks ago. Running in, there's Ben Hart. It should be sorted out pretty quickly. Adelaide leading at the moment at 9-5, 7-3.
Now Somerville's got reason to be annoyed there too. He was down over the ball and McDermott went in and bumped him around the head just a couple of paces from where the ball was. That looked funny though. The Little Leaguers have gone storming out there. I thought they were headed for the fight for a minute.
So did I. I was worried, Dennis. So 9-5, 59 to 7-3, 45 at half-time at Football Park. It's 59 to 45. Wren to go against Somerville, who's come into the ruck, as he did late in that second term. Quick kick by Darryl Hart out of the centre. Brown and Lee. Missed by Lee. Here's Thompson. Anderson from centre wing in the first seconds of this second half. No score so far. Wren against the play. Got a high one. Will get a free kick.
Yes, he got the nasty one there, I think, Bruce. Somerville coming across. Wren going back with the flight of the ball, trying to take that mark. It spilled out of his hands, and then on that second effort, you see that in replay where Somerville dealt out that bit of treatment, Dennis.
Yes.
Well, he had a great first half for Sean Wren, the 20-year-old, out to centre wing. Harvey over the top of Patterson. Now Bickley, McGuinness, very good early, not so good in the second term. Bickley again, Kickett and Jarman. Good spoil by Jarman, he was out of position. Here's Buick, he's kicked a couple of goals, hasn't had a lot of touches. Now Harvey concedes some ground. Thompson.
Centre half back. Mark Thompson. Short pass, Kilpatrick. Alongside the centre circle. Long kick inside the 50, but Wren unopposed. Very good at making possession. Sean Wren to McGuinness. McDermott up from the back pocket. Rather pedestrian start to this second half then. McDermott goes very wide with the kick. Harvey almost the mark. Bickley cleverly done. Releases Patterson, but there's a whistle. Now, what's that all about? A throw, said the umpire. Well, it didn't look that way, but we're a long way from it. Anderson, hurried kick inside the 50 once more. Wren drops the mark this time. Through the legs of McDermott, he goes after it. Grenvold into his back. Picked up by Chris Danaher. Quick kick from O'Donnell. Salmon misses it. Tasker slaps it out wide towards the boundary. Ridley gathers it just inside, goes to the square. Salmon, and he kicks a goal. A remarkable goal. Errors throughout that passage of play from players of both sides, but Essendon get what they wanted. They trail 8-3 to 9-5.
I think he'd be slightly embarrassed having that goal put down next to his name, because that really was a sitter that he dropped. Also the one on the chest there by Sean Wren. Most unusual for him. He usually gets back there and swallows those sort of marks. He's been playing well across that half-back line. Uncharacteristic.
Bombers within 8 points as they were in the second term. Jarman, McGuinness missed it first time, then socketed it. Lee caught. McGuinness again off the ground. Patterson. Kickett looks for a free kick. And this time Grant Vernon giving nothing. Thompson on the bottom gets a pat. Captain, twice best and fairest. The Bomber. So Essendon challenging strongly, being led by Salmon at full forward with his 5 goals. Here's Hills from the centre square. Ridley attacks the ball. It's going to be a good bounce. A handball not so effective. Here's Grenvold running towards the pocket. Gets around Ben Hart. Left foot, low one in the end. It's a difficult one for Salmon. Kept some control of it. Smart, clever. Rebounding. The AFL fullback, All-Australian last year. Jarman held on to against Kickett. Playing a bit of a game, the two of them there.
Used his body well, Bruce, keeping Kickett out of that contest, making sure he stayed in front.
Wide to Maynard, to Brown. Adelaide look most potent when they set things up like this. Now Lee on the edge of the centre square. Ingerson provides the first lead. Murphy's also back there. Drop punt by Lee in the Murphy direction. A good kick to a space. And Murphy running into it.
He took a long time to get rid of that ball on that occasion, Scott Lee, but he did provide a good kick to the run of Michael Murphy. As you said, Bruce, the only bit of space on that forward line after he took so long to deliver that ball, Scott Lee.
Well, he's normally a very good kick. He's kicked 3 goals. This one from about 45 metres out. Drop punt. Excellent attempt straight through the middle. 4 to Murphy. And 10-5 to 8-3, so Adelaide stretch it back to 14 points.
It's back to that half-time margin. There's a player concerned there kicking that goal, Michael Murphy. He gave Mark Harvey a lot of trouble in that first half. Had Harvey moved off him, and has continued to do well. He is prepared to always put his body in front and go for those marks. Werner now playing on him. Werner, who kicked 4 goals last week for Essendon against the Brisbane Bears.
Ten 5 to 8-3. Just under 21 minutes remaining till three-quarter time. Jarman and Kickett.
Harvey now playing centre-half back on Patterson.
As the bounce, Wren back-to-back with Somerville. Hurried kick by Anderson down towards half-forward. Well gathered by Spawn. Pulls it back across his body. I think looking for Ridley, who gave a contest, got it on the ground. Chris Danaher couldn't control it. Well done by Marshall. Slick hand pass away. McGuinness boots it out wide. It runs out of bounds and will be thrown in. Intelligent kick. Nothing on for him down the ground. Tony McGuinness, runner-up to Mark Micken, as we said earlier, in the best and fairest last season. The best and fairest with Footscray. Chris Danaher got ahead to that one. Socceroo. There's the ball back towards the wing. Brown had it bounced by him. Somerville lumbers after it. Did well. Wanganeen from the wing. Gavin Wanganeen. Good looking kick. Ridley was held. No free kick. It runs behind. Smart meets the ball full chested. Lays it off to Hart. He goes across to Maynard.
Has some time. Short kick to McDermott, effective in the centre. Darryl Hart running. McDermott's handball was spot on. Darryl Hart can go all the way here. One bounce, a second, can go for goal. Drop punt, kicks it, gives it a run. Goal, hits the post. Did I say goal, Bernie? Hit the post. 10-6-8-3.
You weren't the only one. There's about 45,000 fans thought it was a goal also, Bruce. That would have been a real team lifter for the Crows.
Difference is they're all barracking for Adelaide. 65 or 66 to 51.
Danaher goes towards the outer side. It hangs in the air a long time. Somerville was hanging on to Patterson, and there was no free. So much of it happening now. And now a free kick against Maynard. Awarded to Spawn and 50 metres.
Oh, that's pretty tough. I thought the free kick was... well, he blew the whistle pretty quickly to give that free kick against Maynard. And now the 50 metres really making Adelaide pay.
Spawn will kick from about 70 metres out now. Kieran Spawn sets it up once more, intended for Salmon, and why not? And Salmon's taken the mark. Well, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. If you can set it up and go to Salmon, it's just a question of where he'll mark it and whether he'll kick a goal.
There's Salmon just leading Nigel Smart under that ball and then dropping back. And with his height, he is a very hard man to stop.
Well, he's got 5 so far. Paul Salmon. The margin is 15 points. He kicks accurately. So it's back to 9 points.
Yes,
intriguing game. This 9-3 to 10-6. Sorry, Bernie.
Sorry, Dennis. Yes, a huge height advantage there to Paul Salmon. 206 centimetres Salmon up against Nigel Smart, who's listed as 188 centimetres. So very difficult once Salmon's on his game and playing with confidence to take those marks above his head. It makes it difficult for any player to curtail his moves on that forward line.
66-57, 9-point game. Wren at the second attempt. He's bleeding from the nose. McGuinness's kick. Lee unable to take it. Taken by Kilpatrick. The Bombers are mounting a challenge. Here's Anderson. Around the body. Buick. Jarman. Wren. Fainted one handball. Then wide. McGuinness. Darryl Hart for the second time running through half forward. Anderson goes strongly into Lee. Then Hart with a high one, hoping for a Murphy or Ingerson mark. Wanganeen back there. Murphy has already kicked 4. Liptak. Oh, well read by Kilpatrick. Some rebound here. Buick sells one in away. He's exciting. He loves to run all the way down. 1 bounce, 2 bounces. Good kick to Salmon. Smart in very well, though, and effectively. Holds it up, holds it underneath him in the end. And 10 out of 10 on that occasion for Nigel Smart. It's a good attack by the Bombers, with Buick charging down the centre.
I think Smart may be hurting too as Denham tries to go off the ground. Grabbed by O'Donnell out of the pack. How will it bounce? Well, Smart is the coolest customer I've ever seen.
He was very casual, wasn't he, Nigel Smart? Maybe his shoulder playing up he had trouble with earlier in the season. Something's worrying him, I think, Dennis. Some injury problem.
I don't think anything's worrying him.
Not after that.
Here's Schwert in the back pocket. He goes short. Marshall off to McGuinness. Long kick through the middle. Harvey, timely fist. Hills. Buick has been busy. Chris Danaher goes looking for Salmon again. It lands in front of him, though, and this is where Smart excels. He's simply too nimble. He gives it away to Wren. Cool as you like. To Tasker. Tasker finds Marshall. Hills found Marshall at about the same time, close to the boundary line. Spawn keeps it in. Goes for the kick back towards the pocket. Ridley and Wren. And Ridley almost the mark. It goes out of bounds, and we've got a throw in. Good game of football. 10-6, 9-4. Virtually a capacity crowd now as Pays is limbering up. They are packed into Football Park.
Wren and Somerville. Somerville at the back. Bickley, Grenvold. Now Bickley to Marshall. Low left foot. Patterson and Harvey. No joy for kick it on that occasion. O'Donnell and Thompson. Good mark, the Bomber. Was off the leg of one of the Adelaide players. Now Thompson. Well, on his own. All alone, Somerville. Wren playing the defensive role, but leaving Somerville. And with a good chance to goal here to put Essendon within 2 points at the scoring end. But they've set this up with some very good play in the second quarter where they were able to erode Adelaide's quarter-time lead. So Peter Somerville, who has kicked 17 goals so far this season. Drop punt, and he's missed that. It's a bad miss for the Bombers. They've got some momentum up at the moment, and they're still very much in it at 9-5 to 10-6. Just 7 points the difference.
The crowd a little quieter though now, and that's step one really to winning either here or at Subiaco Oval or the WACA ground. Try and quieten the crowd. In front, Wren had to get a free kick. Nothing doing. Kick it. In heavy traffic going nowhere. McDermott stood up in the tackle. Marshall over Denham. Now Buick. Oh, cleverly done. About 45 metres out. Puts it high. Salmon goes back. Could have almost been held again. It falls forward. Hart. O'Donnell is in there. Picked up by Ridley. Nonchalantly goes Goldwood and kicks it behind. 9-6 to 10-6 as the Bombers are closing.
Yes,
and the Crows playing for their survival.
Maybe Tasker has been moved on to Paul Salmon. Certainly in that contest he was up against him.
Lucky Sean Tasker. Here's Hart. Salmon has 6. Hart Goes short to Marshall, to McGuinness. No one to kick to. The Crows need it to run out of bounds. That was a well-trained ball. It'll be thrown in up towards the wing.
Like a magnet then. McGuinness without an option. He got the handball. They played the 1-2 and must have been horrified when he looked up. Saw Hills and nobody else except the boundary. Missed by Marshall. Wren hurled. Denham for one of his few touches. Gets some distance. Smart in two minds whether to attack or not. Tasker. And forcing it through for a behind. So 10-6, 9-7. Bombers on top, no question about that. They trailed 6-3 to 9-5 in the second term. They've been able to reduce the margin to 5 points. Again, very short to Bickley. And Bickley runs off a couple of Essendon opponents and then goes long. Jarman caught out a bit. Anderson and Kickett. Some skill there. Jarman very well played. This is an important ball. Running for him, Marshall. To Maynard with a bounce and a second. 50 metres out. Drop punt towards goal. Werner and Murphy. And I could hear you sighing, Bernie, in the background because the end result was very poor for the build-up.
Had to go to Patterson, didn't it?
Well, I think it came from Dennis Asai, but I agree. As Sean Wren has taken from the ground and Micken making a rare appearance after being dragged very early in the game and being replaced by Patterson.
Danaher gets it down. Taken by McGuinness close to the boundary line. He can't keep it in. Well, that last attack for Adelaide, initiated by some superb work by Jarman. There's Sean Wren. It was a great tackle on Kickett. Then the man storming down the ground had Patterson's man peel off, simply had to go over the top by hand or foot. It should have been a goal. He didn't, and as a result, Essendon get another reprieve. The ball in their back pocket. Lee, hurried kick towards full forward. Werner did well, wrestling. Anderson in front, buried. Opportunity for Ingerson. Now it's picked up by O'Donnell, who's been a good player. Slapped on by Kickett. Schwartz over the ball. Now Jarman, he got it from lip tackle, was it Patterson? Patterson who got it to him, and Jarman just missed. Terrific football from players of both sides there. Everybody totally committed. 6 points.
Good play by Jarman. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to finish off his good play. He's kicked 3 behinds for the evening.
Ridley off and Dick comes on. Sheedy making a change. Anthony Danaher. Micken trying to put himself in the play. Gets a free kick against Somerville. He'll be very determined, no question about that, to have some impact on this game, Micken. Ingerson the target. Started brilliantly, has been well held. Danaher caught surely. Gone.
Yeah, great tackle. Great tackle there by Brown. Chris Danaher, a player himself who's renowned for his tackling. Caught in a magnificent tackle by the Adelaide Crows player. And there's the replay of that. He was going nowhere.
Already kicked one goal tonight, the 22-year-old. Rover half forward. Take a good kick, but he is a good kick, and he's going to kick from about 47, 48 metres. Drop punt. Just going away and not quite making it. Werner happy to concede a behind. Adelaide leads by 7 points. Max, what's happening down there on the boundary line?
Well, Sean Wren has come off for a rest. He has a blood nose, but the club doctor said he's off for a rest. It's got nothing to do with the nose.
Okay, Danaher to bang it back in for the Bombers.
Goes towards the outer side. Patterson's in front. Somerville over the top. Patterson a bit of recovery. Slaps it out. Taken by Schwert. He's forward of the wing. He sends Adelaide back deep into attack. Ingerson in front. Oh, great attempt at the mark, and it's paid. He controlled it initially with the left and got it down to the advantage of his other arm. And Ingerson now will kick it goal from about 20 metres out.
Well, there's the replay, Dennis. He controlled that long enough, according to the umpire. Did well to get back there and get that left hand to it in the first occasion.
Yeah, good enough, I reckon.
Good enough, okay. Alessio back on for the Bombers. Somerville off.
Very agreeable tonight. Here's Ingerson. Important kick. It's a good kick.
Big moment now for the Bombers to respond. Alessio with the tap. Maynard punches it forward. Good take by Patterson. Jarman fight on behind play. And a free kick going against Patterson, and he's pretty upset about it. May have reacted then. I'd missed it completely.
I think he called it a throw.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, well. Harvey. Salmon. Big stretch. Danaher. Dick cleverly back to Denham. Left foot snap. Good looking kick. A chance. Is it a goal? I think it is.
Oh.
It is. 11-8 to 10-7. 74 to 67, and Denham, who's been very quiet tonight, chips in with an excellent roving goal.
It's a very important free kick. That one paid. When Jarman had cleared it out of the middle, a long kick up into that forward line on the left boot. And then we saw the ball transferred from one end of the ground to the other because that free kick had been paid.
Just over 10 minutes remaining till three-quarter time. This game very much in the balance now. Rucks go at it again. Alessio over his head. Chris Danaher to O'Donnell, who's been busy. A probing kick inside the attacking 50. Smart backed himself at the ball, aided by Hart. Salmon is hanging off this pack if they can get the ball to him. In the grasp is Grenvold, and he's been penalised. Ben Hart to take the free.
He's been good this year, Ben Hart. Has played in every game for the Adelaide Crows in 1992.
Tony McGuinness on the defensive 50 line. High kick towards the wing. Patterson goes up, knocked away by Harvey. Marshall running out of space, slung, gets the hand pass off. Patterson wanted it most. Feeds McGuinness on the burst. Across it comes to Maynard, who goes towards half forward, and Lee knocked away down there by Thompson. It's out of bounds, and we've got a throw in. 11-8 plays 10-7.
Patterson to do the ruck work. With Harvey by the look of it. And Harvey wins the tap. Jarman's handball. Darryl Hart running at it. So's Anderson and also Schwert. Hart cleverly from Schwert. Left foot for goal. Good kick, it's home. Real value for kicks, that one. 12-8, 10-7. Adelaide conjuring the goal out of very little at 80 to 67.
Yes, it really came from nothing, didn't it, Bruce? A real opportunist goal here from Darryl Hart. He's played on the back line the last couple of weeks there. Almost smothered that hand pass, spilling out to Darryl Hart. A very good kick on the left boot from about 40 metres out. He's now kicked 7 goals for the 1992 season.
12-8, 10-7. Kevin Shetty gambling now. Wanganeen's gone onto the ball. Kickett appears to be in defence. He's been taken off Jarman, who again was instrumental in that last score for Adelaide. Bickley rides one bump, not this second. Dick's got it. Sweeping hand pass. Buick goes at it. Tasker tries to go off the ground. The ball close to the boundary line and Smart, and he runs it across. So Kickett now is manning up on Liptak, and Kickett doesn't always have a lot of stamina. He's worked hard on Jarman. Jarman certainly has run him around, so can Kickett go with Liptak? Obviously Shetty wants Liptak quelled tonight. Wanganeen started on him, but Wanganeen now, as you can see, has got the job on Jarman. Meantime, a high tackle applied on Bickley.
Actually, Kickett has played some very good games in defence for Essendon, Dennis.
Yes. But beaten on his merits tonight as Hart sells his namesake into trouble. Ben to Darryl, and we've got a ball up inside the attacking 50.
Not a great hand pass, that one. He was always going to be in trouble there, Darryl Hart.
So Kevin Wanganeen, as we say, on Jarman. That will be a testing time for him, and one sense is pivotal in the outcome of this game. Neither ruckman touched the ball. Denham away to O'Donnell. Hurried kick. Good looking kick. Goal. Well, shades of Adelaide's last goal at the other end. Congestion. Quick hands out. And a snap. Getting it through. O'Donnell has been a good player tonight. And the margin is back to 12 points. Gripping game.
Yes, well, neither side really can get the upper hand here. Adelaide kicks one, then Essendon replies. That's been the way it's been all night. O'Donnell kicks his first goal. He's been a handy player for Essendon, averaging 23 disposals for 1992.
80 to 73. Micken and Alessio. Not much in that one. Jarman, quick kick out of the centre. Kick it back underneath it. Lee, Liptak. Schwert trying to get it out. Liptak in very hard. Essendon hold up Adelaide, and Brown there as well. Liptak on the bottom of it. So the Bombers have hung right in. Salmon, their main goal scorer, with 6. Murphy for Adelaide with 4. 12-8, 11-7. That time Patterson won it. Liptak caught, unable to get his kick away. And a ball up from Grant Vernon. So Adelaide attacking. The pattern of the match has been Adelaide would goal from here. Been able to respond. Essendon's been edging a little closer and closer. Left foot round the body. Well, missed there by the Bomber, Werner. And out of play. So a throw in the pocket. Sheedy looks on. 9 times in 11 years they've made the finals, Essendon, under Sheedy. 4 grand finals, 2 premierships. O'Donnell and McGuinness not interested in any of those stats. But if they're going to make the finals this year, they must win tonight.
A scramble behind that throw-in. Ingerson has an opportunity. Well, McGuinness broke away. Not for long, though. It was Chris Danaher who got him down. Now Anthony takes advantage of that and boots it towards the wing. Alessio in front. Couldn't control it. He's been quiet tonight. Hart held without it. He'll take the free kick. He's playing the ball in front of his body. Not in possession according to the umpire. So Darryl Hart, value for money tonight. Kicks it back inside the attacking 50. O'Donnell peeled off. Reaching over the top. Got a timely fist on it. Chris Danaher. Ambitious, but did well. Got by McDermott. Got it to Kilpatrick. Kilpatrick gets it back from Grenvold. Runs forward of the wing. Kilpatrick centering kick intended for Salmon. Fisted away by Smart. Bickley did very well. Got it across to Maynard. Left it behind though. Essendon have got the numbers behind. Salmon gets it away to Dick. Smothered by Smart. It ricochets towards the boundary. Schwert, did he keep it in? No, he didn't. And the ball will be thrown in. 7 points the difference then. Adelaide being challenged.
In front of what looks to be nearly a full house here. Must be close to the record crowd of last year against West Coast. Liptak. Back to Bickley. To half back. Marshall attacked it. Didn't win it though. Hills. Kilpatrick is normally a good kick. And not that time. Gets some distance, some power, but straight out on the full. Smart to bring it back in. Just a 7-point game with 4.5 minutes remaining in this third term. Smart's kick, Mickens big stretch, unable to take it. Kilpatrick at the back. Marshall, Jarman, not sure. Gets round Wanganeen. Good play in the end, but Danaher running onto it. Worked a lot harder than McDermott. Just ran away from him then and made it. Kick it with his back foot. O'Donnell running through. Quick left foot. Salmon in the front spot. Smart with him bouncing and through for a behind. 1 goal the difference. 12-8 to 11-8. O'Donnell growing in stature as the game continues. 80-74.
Darryl Hart. A momentary lull. Is foxing the footy. Full credit to Essendon. They were down by in excess of 20 points at various times in this game. There's Graham Corns. A look of intensity there as he's on the phone. Everything on the line for the Crows tonight. A loss here, and you'd sense their season is over. You know, we've written them off a couple of times earlier in the year. As Hart finds Liptak. That was a courageous mark. He stood his ground in front. Finds support from Maynard. Not a particularly good kick out wide. Now Essendon could have the numbers here. McGuinness will have to work. He's worked out of it by O'Donnell. The first to arrive will be an Essendon player. Hills running very hard was Maynard. Horrific job.
Yes, great tackle, Maynard. He really applied the pressure there to young Paul Hills.
Well, he sensed the danger, Maynard. He was involved in moving the ball out of defence initially. He must have looked up and seen it was 2-1, and he must have really gone. I didn't see him, but he arrived very quickly on Hills. There goes the kick down towards half forward. Offhands Werner, looking for the clever hand pass, and did it pretty successfully, hitting it hard into the turf and having it bounce out of bounds. So a throw in, left half forward for the Crows, who lead 12-8 to 11-8. Ingerson works his way in front, clean possession. Lee over the ball, tackled by Anderson, socket off the ground by Danaher, taken by Schwert, dragged down by Buick, jarred free. Now an opportunity for Alessio. Did well, the big man. Hurried kick down towards half forward. Turned the defence around. Hart, who's normally got plenty of pace, does it again. Beats Denham. Lays it off. Bumped out of it was Maynard. Spawn's hand pass very untidy. Maynard with courage went in.
And scooped it out, Dennis. Surely that was a free.
Would have thought so. Spawn's hand pass comes back to Kilpatrick at close quarters to Grenvold. He kicks it very high.
Salmon unable to quite get there. A bouncing ball out of play. 2.5 minutes remaining. A critical 2.5 minutes. A goal to the Bombers, and it's all square at three-quarter time. Micken and Alessio in a wrestling match. Buick looks for a free kick. Brown and Denham. And out of play. He's picking up still Wanganeen, Dennis, on Jarman. Yes, it looks like just Grenvold and Kilpatrick were filling a space, weren't they?
Yep.
Just notice you're coaching on the side there. Alessio, Buick went without it, goes for a kick off the ground. Tasker was there, and so was Bickley. And again, there'll be a bounce down, so a critical moment here.
I think you're the first one who ever listened, Bruce.
Not sure if it helped me. So 1 minute and 3/4. Micken. Good tap. Strong handball to Jarman. To Hart. Arguably his best match of the season, though not that time. To Chris Danaher, could make Adelaide pay for it. As he charges towards Salmon, who goes for a big stretch. Well played, Micken to get back. Willie Dick's quick kick, and he's missed a behind. 5-point game, 11-9, 12-8. Essendon peppering away in this term. On top, but still behind on the board.
Hart inclined to go short and up the middle. We'll see what he does here. Ben Hart breaks for him, so he goes short and to the side, and Ben Hart gets it right against the boundary line, then kicks into the man on the mark. That was Dick. Regathers it across to Schwert, close to the boundary line. He kicks to the wing. Well, they have manufactured something. Tasker, very high kick to centre half forward. McDermott is there. Fisted away by Chris Danaher. McDermott a bit of recovery, running away from his own goal, forced to kick hurriedly. It goes straight up in the air. Harvey goes after it and takes the mark alongside Chris Danaher.
Yes, he really needed some support there, McDermott. A player running past would have been very handy.
Harvey to the wing. Inside the last minute of the term, Derek Kickett. Clever mark in front of Marshall. 12-8, 11-9. Kickett to O'Donnell, who's been a fine player. High kick towards half forward. Micken used his body on Alessio. The value of experience there. Best and fairest with the Crows and the skipper of the Brisbane Bears for their first 3 seasons. Jarman's got it. Did he go? He went to the umpire. He did. No. The umpire is saying throw it in. Well, it had to be either one thing or the other. 50 metres or holding the ball, surely.
Well, I'm sure he called play on, Dennis, and then allowed it to dribble over the boundary line.
Throw in.
He made no attempt to get rid of it, and he certainly did play on.
As it turns out, it would have had no bearing had the free kick been awarded, because just a second remained in the term. We've heard the siren since, and Adelaide lead. It's going to be a thriller, though. What a day of football on 7 Sport. 12-8, 80 plays 11-9, 75. Back shortly.
And talking about news and the latest, here's Max Stevens, who's been having a little listen to Graham Corns and Kevin Sheedy.
Thanks very much, Bruce. Conditions here still very good for football, and that breeze, we said it was worth about 3 or 4 before the start of the game. It's dropped right off. I'd say it's probably worth about 2, as Bernie Quinlan pointed out earlier. Now, Nigel Smart, about 4 minutes into that last quarter, he received a heavy knock to his shoulder, and it was touch or go whether he'd come off. But the good news is it's not the shoulder that was reconstructed earlier this year. Sean Wren coming off. I was told he's only off for a rest and will come back on if required. Kevin Sheedy, he's told the boys that they've got to work at it. They're far from beaten, and a committed effort will see the Bombers win. He said all they have to do is get a little bit of a sniff of that lead, and Adelaide will be demoralised, and that's the way you'll beat the Crows here at Football Park. And Kevin Sheedy had that board with the magnets, and I think you'll find he's about to make another 250 moves in this quarter.
Let's have a look at the match stats. Bernie Quinlan, Adelaide and Essendon.
That's right. Look at that. Quite amazing. The handballs, Bruce. 127-64, almost double there for Adelaide over Essendon. Also on top in the kicks department. The marks also, so on top in most areas. Pretty hard to tell how they can be so close after looking at those stats, Dennis. Essendon.
Yeah.
But they have converted well with Paul Salmon playing at full forward. And Sean Wren is required. He is back on the ground. Micken starting off on the interchange bench.
Well, what an important term. Should be a terrific last quarter. Both teams with so much to play for. You'd reckon they'd give 100% for the whole 30 minutes. Wren, Schwert, Andrew Jarman, McGuinness. Quick kick to half forward to a vacant space. Ben Hart with a bit of pace, but falling over and not a good move in the end. Wanganeen to Kilpatrick. He runs his 10 metres, then left foot. Good-looking kick to half forward. And running into it, Somerville. So the Bombers with a good kick again to Spawn. Some loose checking. I mean, Essendon strongly attacking, and it's Spawn goals here into a slight breeze.
Well, Spawn also appears to be playing now at centre-half forward. Maynard was caught between trying to stop Somerville and then trying to get back to cover Spawn.
Well, Salmon kicked the first goal of the game. It's about the only time Essendon's been in front. Spawn's kicked right there. Jarman trying to take it away. Tasker, kick it, still with the ball. Denham, handball back. Kick by Salmon, goal. 7 to Salmon, and the Bombers are in front. 12-9 to 12-8.
Yes, there's Alessio watching on the bench as we see this in replay. Almost knocked through there by Tasker. Tried very hard to get it through for a rush behind. Denham with that quick little hand pass out, and Salmon on the end of that, snapping his 7th goal.
Well, they've persisted tonight, and now they lead the early going of the final term. Jarman, who's been a star, sends Adelaide down towards their half-forward line. Grenvold rakes it in brilliantly. Now loses control, shovels it out to Kilpatrick. Crowd want to throw. Hart dives on top of it. Back comes Grenvold, and the ball up. Liptak is off the ground. It came off with Graham Corns. And it's a bad trait that I've seen a number of times with Adelaide this season. The players gesticulating and gesturing, shaking their head when they're either coming off the ground or, in that case, talking with the coach. Doesn't look too flash. There's McDermott. High kick inside the 50. Storming up the ground, Ingerson. Took his eye off the ball. Thompson did well. Hills is away. The Bombers lead. Hills running away from half-back. Kicks it down towards half-forward. In from the side, kick it. Great mark. Hayes going back with it to Bickley. End-to-end stuff at the moment. Darryl Hart on the outer side, told to go. Comes back, and they've combined quite often tonight. This is Ben Hart.
Centre wing. Oh, not a good kick. Poor, in fact. Bomber Thompson to O'Donnell. Put him under some pressure. Quick kick away. Straight to Lee. So untidy by Essendon as well. And Marshall on his own at half forward. Darryl Hart running inside. Schwert calling for it. Marshall swings as he often does. Centering kick. Danaher in the front spot. Ingerson almost stopped. Maynard's left foot snap. And it should be marked right on the goal line by Murphy, who's already kicked 4, to the delight of this huge crowd tonight.
Well, it wouldn't have mattered, would it, Bruce, because that ball would have gone through for Maynard.
Murphy's 5th. Adelaide back in front at 13-8 to 12-9. Murphy with 5 goals.
Well, this has been a great contest. Plenty at stake for both sides. There's this lead up again into that forward line. Maynard following his man down. Spawn, the left foot snapshot. And Murphy marking it just about on the goal line. So he could have shepherded that one through if he had have wanted to. A lot at stake here for both sides.
Well, the crowd, realising the stakes are high, roaring at these Adelaide Crows to pull away now. Can they do that? It falls at the feet of the ruckman. McDermott goes to ground. Danaher had him. That's Chris Danaher. And we'll have a bounce. 13-8 to 12-9. It's a cold night at Football Park. Rucks go at it again. O'Donnell towards half forward. In front, Denham had it knocked away. Buick shrugs a tackle. Found his Salmon, who's perfectly placed. Well done by Smart. He showed a lot of strength. It falls to Ridley, who was pushed in the back as he tried to kick, and he must get a free kick. Well, the crowd don't like it, but of course it was there. Ridley, 2 hands in the middle of the back.
Yes, he caught it, Dennis, firmly in the middle of the back there against Ridley. The crowd's incensed, as you would expect from the parochial Adelaide crowd.
Jarman's not happy either.
And this to put Essendon back in front.
It's been a close, high-standard game tonight. And Ridley. He was the 13th man taken in the 90 draft. Kicks truly. He was a full forward with Claremont in the WAFL, kicked a lot of goals there, and that had the stamp of a full forward kicking at goal. They lead by a point.
Yes, he's been used in a number of positions. Ridley for Essendon, that's his 5th goal. And we see that free kick paid against Tasker. I don't think there should be too many complaints about that one because he was pushed right in the middle of the back. The replay of the kick. He was drafted from Claremont, as Dennis said. He's been averaging 18 disposals per match.
Bombers back in front at Football Park. Wren takes a flying jump to half forward, a 1-point ball game. Kilpatrick. Thompson touches it once. High left foot. Bickley will have to show some courage there. Did keep his eye on it very well. Maynard robbed by Denham. Bickley gets back. Jarman's quick hands to Darryl Hart. Runs his full quota. Kicks to half forward. Ben Hart, no free kick. Well played Werner. Took a chance, left his man, showed a bit of dash. Left-hand handball had some power. Kilpatrick under pressure. Straight up. Oh, gee. Scott Lee allowing O'Donnell.
Yes, O'Donnell, the only player that really wanted that ball. He kept his eyes on it and attacked it. Scott Lee chose to stay down.
Look at this. Harvey to Spawn, a paddock. Wren, now Spawn should take him on, and he does. Goes round him and then goes with a long one. You back Salmon. Smart in the front spot. Salmon goes to ground. Jarman well played but caught. A goal here to Buick will be damaging. Goes for it. He might have kicked it, I reckon. He has, and the Bombers stretch it away. Buick's got 3, and it's 14-9 to 13-8.
Well, a big goal, that one. Buick, the player that kicked that. Spawn getting away by himself into the forward line. Smart doing well, especially with that damaged right shoulder, to provide that spoil. And there was a very good tackle by Ridley, just putting the pressure on Jarman and allowing Buick to chip in there and kick that goal.
So the margin 7 points Essendon's way. This would be their biggest lead, certainly, in the game tonight. And what a time it's come at.
Got some big games coming up, Dennis. The Eagles next week, followed by St Kilda, then Fitzroy, Footscray and Collingwood.
Well, they don't
5 big matches there.
They don't need to look past this one quite yet. Here's Marshall, dragged off it. Wanganeen, he turned 19 on Tuesday, pulls it back to Woods, half forward. Derek Kickett leads in the race. The Bombers looking better at the present time. Kickett goes long down to Woods, full forward. It's another one. Marvellous goal. Well, the Bombers are on fire. 15-9 to 13-8.
Been used in a number of positions. Derek Kickett started off in the centre on Jarman and went to the back line when Jarman got on top. And now being used in that forward line, being picked up by Pays, who started the game on the interchange bench also. There's that long kick into the forward line. Great goal by Derek Kickett.
.13 margin now. 15-9, 13-8. What will Adelaide's response be? Essendon on a real roll. Wren's been winning the taps out of the centre. No advantage been given. Somerville caught. Jarman, who's been tireless, to Patterson. McGuinness. Ingerson on a long lead. Danaher at the back. Dumps away cleverly. Ben Hart tried to rob it. Well played, Anthony Danaher. He's a little out of touch for his own high standards. Goes to the boundary line and out of play.
Yes, he had a couple of rests last week playing in that game against the Brisbane Bears. Mark Micken spent a fair bit of time on the interchange bench after starting at centre half forward. Was dragged very early.
So Ingerson does the ruck work. Danaher over the back. Thompson caught. And holding the ball. So Patterson's free kick from half forward. Too far out to score. Plays on quickly. Ingerson the target. Underneath it. Coming in Werner. Off the ground by Schwert. Kilpatrick was a hard one under pressure. Hills goes in to join him. Schwert's over the top. Thompson slings it out the back to Danaher. Legally though. Chris Danaher kicks towards centre wing. Good mark, Somerville. Bickley was bearing down. I know it's a bit like Goliath and David coming at you, but he still held it well. Goes to Anderson in the centre. They're looking good, Essendon. To Wanganeen.
Anderson down towards half forward. Yes, Wanganeen across to O'Donnell, who chips it out wide. Spawn, sliding mark. He's got it just outside the 50. Well, they persevered and persevered. Now Somerville, who's run on down the ground, has taken the mark.
Yes, well, a good move that by Kevin Sheedy. Playing Somerville in the ruck. Alessio off the ground. He started off doing the ruck work. Somerville at centre half forward was thrown into the ruck, and he's very mobile around the ground. He's run into the forward line on a number of occasions. Wren has been caught between the two, not sure whether to go with Somerville or to cover Salmon.
Well, that was hard running there because he just took the mark on the wing opposed to Bickley. He's run on down to kick it goal from 25 metres out, and he's put it through. Well, Essendon have kicked right away. Just over 16 and a half minutes remaining. And 16-9 plays 13-8. Bearing in mind they trailed by 5 points at three-quarter time. They've kicked, what is it now? 5 goals in this final term.
And Somerville, first goal for the game. He started off at centre half forward into the ruck where he's made a huge difference. He has worried Sean Wren.
105-86. Essendon by 19 points. Have kicked 4 goals without reply in about 5 minutes. Salmon was just giving his knee a test a moment ago. Kick by Chris Danaher. The Bombers are running from everywhere. Kick it. Has been pretty important in this last quarter. Kick one miraculous goal. Squeezes it to Chris Danaher. Wanganeen on the run through. Takes Jarman on. Little left footer towards centre half forward. Tasker in the front spot. Ridley with him. Buick's normally very good in these situations. Smart held it up. The handball over the top. Here's Salmon. Can he kick his 8th? He has! Shut the gate. No question now. 17-9, 13-8. And they're stunned, these Adelaide Crows fans. And why not? Salmon with 8 goals and Essendon with 5 without reply in a hurry.
It's been a great quarter by the Bombers. And Salmon bettering his best goal-kicking performance for 1992. He did kick 7 against Melbourne. That one off the ground. 8 for Big Paul Salmon as Adelaide has made another change. Liptak back onto the ground. He's replaced David Brown.
And Brown trudges off. There's the time remaining. And what a transformation's come over this game. McDermott gets it away to McGuinness. It was a good tap out by Wren. Grenville got a hand to it. Knocks it to the advantage of Harvey. He goes to ground under Ingerson, and we've got a whistle and a bounce. Well, Adelaide, if they lose this, I think you'd have to suggest they're gone for the season. They've got a decision or two to make here. Will they go meekly into the night? Will they stand up and show some defiance? There's the bounce. Taken by Thompson. Thompson boots it towards the outer side. Chris Danaher, who's been a good player since he came onto the ground, goes out of bounds. He does the hard stuff, and he's done it on McDermott for the best part of the night. It doesn't come much harder. So a throw in outer side, 17-9 to 13-8. And the Bombers have got up off their knees. Patterson, taken by Harvey, in trouble. Spills to Wanganeen. And the youngster comes away, dragged down. Liptak an opportunity. Back comes Wanganeen. Ridden into the ground by Liptak. Hart going nowhere. It's tough in there. And another ball up.
Wanganeen asking the question, why wasn't it a free kick for in the back there? Ridden into the ground.
Here's Liptak charging at him there, 111-86. What a transformation in such a short time. Patterson. Thompson.
Oh,
caught. Gone, holding the ball.
Yes, had to be. Great tackle there.
Liptak.
Yes, Liptak started the last quarter on the interchange bench.
Centering kick, Patterson. Anderson from the side. Patterson taps it back. McGuinness trying to charge his way through. Good defensive play again. Danaher's handball very effective. Now Wanganeen on the end of a Kilpatrick handball through the centre, providing the Bombers with run to centre half forward. Ridley in the front spot. Smart was a bit lucky there. Came off, kick it and rebounded to him. Here's Pays quickly on. Spawn at the back. Maynard. And also Schwert, who's died out of the game after a brilliant start for Ridley and Pays. Ball in. I think what shocked her is that Mickens coming on for Patterson. I think what shocked everyone, Bernie, is that it's taken Essendon about 3 quarters to edge up to Adelaide, and suddenly they've caught them and gone bang.
especially as they're kicking into a slight breeze in this last quarter, Bruce. They've certainly shown character, plenty of it.
Hewitt called for a throw.
Actually, Adelaide, they really did need to win this game. They've got Sydney next week at home, then Footscray at Waverley, Melbourne at home, Fitzroy at home, Richmond away and Brisbane away. So not a real tough run, Dennis, but they really needed to win this one at home just to assert some sort of authority.
McDermott to McGuinness. Bickley was the man who sent them forward. Lee did well in a tight situation. The kick goes down towards the pocket, though, ill-directed. He should have gone to the middle. This is Werner around the boundary. The confidence growing by the moment with Essendon. Towards the wing goes the kick. Oh, terrific mark, Wren. Runners inside. Told to play on. That wasn't a particularly good option eventually. Schwert got it back to Wren. Wren keen to make amends. Look at the big man work. Chris Danaher to Denham. Whoa. And now an opportunity for the Bombers. They've turned this defence around. Buick gets in behind them. Can go over the top to Anderson. Anderson with a little time. Measures the kick. Goes long and splits the middle. It's all over.
43,163 here tonight, and I can tell you a lot of them are leaving. 13-8 to 18-9. There's mass exodus going out of the grandstands at this very moment after that Anderson goal. Well, the Crows have got 12 and a half minutes. Dennis suggested they had to stand up and be counted or go meekly into the night. Well, their fans have decided that they've gone meekly all right, and they're going to join them in the night. Anyway, Wren. Wanganeen, full credit to Essendon. It's been a tremendous performance against odds here. Schwert's high ball back into the centre. Thompson at the back and takes the mark, and at the moment it's just one way. Here's Grenvold from Thompson.
Kicks it out wide. Brilliantly picked up by Anderson. Pulls it back very high. Kick it. Worked out of it. Good attempt at the mark by Payes eventually, and Jarman was hurt. It was Payes who cannoned into the back of his teammate. Bickley shovels it out looking for Schwert, who showed courage. Buick kept his footing, sliding in his Payes. He was ridden into the ground surely. No free kick. Comes to Kilpatrick. Goes down towards full forward, storming up the ground. Dropping the mark though is Smart. Still he goes, Nigel Smart. Was awarded a free. Advantages paid. No advantage there in the umpire. I'm not sure he can do this. He's pulling it back. I think he may have said oops. When he blew the whistle, he had his fingers crossed and was Barley's. So the kick will be taken down there by Smart. Does it work that way, Bert?
I'm not sure, Dan. It sounds okay.
Goes out wide. Held by Payes to McGuinness. Hugging the boundary line. Long kick through centre. Micken goes up and takes a clever mark. 18-9 plays 13-8.
7 goals straight in this last quarter by Essendon.
They've been absolutely terrific. Micken inside the 50, and what breeze there is behind the Adelaide Crows. Throwing it out. Danaher should be penalised. No. Away goes Grenvold, then kicking to the wing, and Wanganeen takes a very good mark.
He's a terrific player, Wanganeen. Recruited from Port Adelaide. He plays anywhere. He's played magnificently over the last couple of weeks in the back pocket.
Buick on the run. He's been good in the last term. Kick it. Gets rid of 2. And a 3rd. And a 4th. Well, gave the handball away. Still kick it. Left foot round the body. Ridley, good mark against Schwert. Well, Essendon trailing one stage by well over 3 goals as Graham Corns looks on. And that Sydney game last year when Adelaide was beaten, and this game I feel would be 2 of the hardest pills he's had to swallow. Sydney really finishing Adelaide off in 1991 in the most unexpected style. You just had the feeling most of tonight that they were in control, even though there was never a really big margin. But suddenly it's all over. Ridley through. 2 for Ridley, 19 for the Bombers, 19-9 to 13-8, 123 to 86.
Yes, that's 8 goals straight now in this final quarter for the Bombers. They're just completely running away with this game. Very meek opposition being provided by Adelaide at the moment. They haven't been all that good at home this year. They've lost a couple of games, one to Footscray and one also to Collingwood. Had wins over Richmond, Brisbane and North Melbourne.
So the margin has blown out to 37 points virtually in the twinkling of an eye. Remarkable last term by the Bombers. Wren gets it down. Micken hurriedly towards half forward. The defence of Essendon since half time has been very, very solid indeed. Harvey boots it out wide, and Hills going across takes the mark on his chest. Hills, high kick through centre wing towards half forward. Wren was interfered with, must get the free. He's tried valiantly tonight. He's up from half back. Kicking towards half forward. Harvey is favoured by the kick though. Knocked away by Micken. Thompson goes off the ground out towards the boundary. He pursues his own soccer kick and picks it up just inside. Little chip pass intended for Kilpatrick, who showed courage. Going back, he's marked this one at right half back. 19-9 to 13-8. Just under 9 minutes remaining.
Centre wing. Ridley in the front spots. Had a good final term. He's had some mates in that regard. Denham caught. Ridley back to Grenvold. And he's running into a bit of form. Buick the target. Oh, great mark. Running backwards at full flight to take a mark, and got to go back. Cheeky, isn't he?
Actually, there hasn't been much opposition in this last quarter from the Crows.
Kilpatrick.
We killed the umpire.
We had some opposition.
That's about the only opposition they've had.
Running over the top there of Grant Vernon.
Jarman off for the Crows. Limping off the ground, and David Brown back on.
Hurt his back, I think, Bernie, in that about half back a few moments ago. Somerville clearing the pack. Here's Kickett. Under pressure, ridden into the ground. Play on call.
Oh, there's about 3 free kicks there to kick it, Bruce. Surely that first one was a free kick. If not the second one.
I think he's getting the second or third one. As Jarman's gone in, and Kickett is getting the free kick.
Yeah, well, he really earned that one. A very sloppy tackle on that first instance. Kickett started off, well, in reasonable fashion, but Jarman got well on top there. We see Pace coming over the top there, and then I think it was Smart jumping into his back.
Across the face for Kickett, but well, it makes no difference in the end result now when we look at the scoreboard. Jarman in a bit of pain. 13-8 to 19-10, and what a disappointment here for Adelaide. Would have to be worried about their capitulation in this final term, with so much at stake and so much in terms of opportunity, and unable to really do anything with it. Liptak's kick to a vacant centre half forward spot.
Storming up the ground, Ingerson. It ricochets off his shins. Chris Danaher goes to ground. Now he's in trouble. Forces it out one-handed. Taken by Grenvold. Away to Harvey. Boots it out wide towards the boundary line. Hills leads in the race out there, and he's content to usher it across the line. Well, 19-10 to 13-8. It's going to be a big victory in the final analysis for the Bombers. I've seen a lot of Adelaide this season, and if I was a supporter of the Crows, there are some worrying signs there. I think as much to do with morale as anything else. This is McGuinness going off the ground, taken by Grenvold. High kick towards the wing. Denham missed it and is penalised for a push in the back before he missed it.
Well, a lot of people thought last year, Dennis, after their 1991 season, they would have been featuring in the finals in 1992, but with 5 wins and 7 losses, they're really up against it now. They've probably gone backwards on last year's form, looking at tonight's performance.
Kilpatrick, quick hands, Liptak bumped off it. Crashing into his back was Denham. Kilpatrick gets it across to Anderson. Ridley was there initially with a hand pass, intended for Salmon, who pushed Smart in the back, nothing doing. Trying to go up the ground was Buick. Back to goal now, Buick, still running away from his own goal. Gets it to Kickett, who's had a lot of possessions tonight. Derek Kickett goes long down towards full forward, and Hart does very well, considering the quality of the opposition. Gavin Wanganeen to mark on his chest. He finds McGuinness.
Half back. Started well. Has had an average game by his standards. Maybe a bit below average by his standards. Maynard. Liptak held up. No free kick. Spawn. Still Spawn. Liptak stops and props and then gives away a free kick, hanging on.
Well, the crowd incensed, and rightly so, I think, Bruce, because that was an obvious free kick a minute ago to Liptak. The same sort of circumstances.
He's really rubbing salt into it there. Anderson is Willie Dick getting ready to come on. Squares it to Harvey, who had his problems earlier tonight, but getting some kicks now. That one floating over the top. Chris Danaher, free kick McDermott. Advantage is paid and played. Bickley, who's been one of Adelaide's better players, to half forward. Over Murphy's head. Anthony Danaher way out in front of Ingerson. Has just fallen apart, hasn't it, for the Crows? Kick it. Harvey. Grenville. Now, Willie Dick's just come on. He's going to get the easiest kick he'll have tonight. Should kick it to Spawn. Gives it a bit of power. Now, Somerville on his own at centre-half forward. Spawn runs around. Salmon in the goal square. Will he kick his ninth, Big Paul? Sets himself and grabs it very well.
They're set up beautifully, Smart just staying off him. And Salmon with that height advantage. 206 centimetres, Paul Salmon, up against Nigel Smart, 188 centimetres. A very hard man to stop.
Really, when you look at this match, his role has been so significant because he was the man that kept them in, didn't he, with his goal-scoring ability in that first half.
Yeah, he sure did.
And now he's putting the cream on top of the cake when he goes in to kick goal number 9. Leans back straight through the middle. Get the record book out, Bernie. 2010 to 13-8. When's the last time Paul Salmon kicked 9 goals in a game? I know 7 was his best previously this year. I reckon it'd be a while, wouldn't it?
Oh, gee, you got me there, Bruce. I've got this year's records. He hasn't been used that much at full forward, has he, over the last few seasons? He's been more in the ruck. Dennis would probably know that one. Dennis?
No, I'm too busy laughing. Bomber Thompson off the ground. Just over 3.5 minutes to go in this contest then. Well, it's no contest really, as you can see. 2010 to 13-8. 9 goals so far in the final term for the Bombers. Liptak down towards half forward. Micken leads in the race. Harvey outmanoeuvres him. Grenvold's got it at left half back. He kicks it out wide. And it proceeds to run across the boundary line. Just going back to that question of morale I raised earlier. Well, I won't, because we're going down to Max Stevens.
Thanks, Dennis. Andrew Jarman has gone down into the rooms for treatment. He has a lower back injury and will be taking no further part.
Ball off hands. Kilpatrick goes off the ground down towards half forward. Opportunity for Spawn, taken by O'Donnell, who centres it, and the mark is held by Anderson. Anderson into the path of Somerville. Very clever kick, and Somerville, like a juggler, slaps it on, intended for Salmon. He was trying to do the right thing and give Salmon his 10th, but unfortunately it came unglued, and Hart comes away with it and finds Schwert. Schwert's at half-back, plays on, gets it across to Hart. This is Darryl Hart from half-back, goes in short. Brown alongside the centre circle. Brown towards centre half forward. Harvey in from the side. Should have got a free kick. He will. He was pushed in the back.
He's just drifting across the front of the pack there. Ingerson bearing down. There's nowhere else to go other than jump into Harvey's back.
Anderson and Tasker forced on by Grenvold. Good take through the centre half forward. Somerville. Now Salmon, will he kick his 10th? He's one out in the square. Somerville unable to quite get it there, but he can kick it to within about 25 metres, which he's done. Salmon in the front spot. Big stretch. Well played. Smart at the back. Here's kick it. Trying off the ground now. Ridley to go around and kick his 3rd. He does. All too easy. 21-10, 13-8. Well, I guess we could be critical of the Crows, but on the other hand, why not be positive about these young Bombers who are really flying high at the moment?
They've shown a lot tonight, haven't they, Bruce? This last term, especially 10-goal quarter. It's magnificent football when it's been so tight all night, and then just to run away with the game as they have. Ridley kicking his 3rd, all coming in this last quarter. Salmon's also kicked 3 for the final term, 9 for the match. Well, a promise there amongst the running players in this Essendon side.
You've said they've got a hard run, Bernie, but there's a lot of ammunition now for Kevin Sheedy. Morale would be sky high at Windy Hill during the week after this performance tonight.
Yes, they've been terrific. Had their problems early, but they've really weathered the storm, and they're putting their stamp on this game as McGuinness has it across half-back. Gets it away to Bickley. Bickley from the half-back flank looking for Liptak. Finds him on the bounce. Liptak surrounded. McGuinness sold into trouble. Quick hands back to Liptak. He finds Hart. Hart on the wing goes to half-forward, and Brown. Now Brown can run. He elects to hand pass instead to Marshall, who slips over. Well, it's been that sort of night. Picked up by Brown, coming back to assist. He was pushed in the back by Dick, and he'll get this free kick about, I suppose, 35 metres out from goal. Well, at three-quarter time, the Crows led 12-8 to 11-9. And kicking with the breeze in the final term, the Crows have advanced to 13-8 and Essendon are 21-10. Remarkable figures. Brown. A belated goal.
There's 2 goals to David Brown. A few of the spectators still remaining here at Football Park. The Adelaide supporters, a lot of them leaving halfway through that quarter when Essendon clearly was going to win this match. 35 seconds remaining on the clock. Belated goal. David Brown has spent some time on the interchange bench.
So the Bombers will record their 4th consecutive victory and put themselves in a 7-6 situation right there with Hawthorn in 9th position and challenging. Marshall. Schwert. Marshall held up. McGuinness got a good hip and shoulder. Now Grenvold as Essendon swing it across the hills. O'Donnell's running inside for him if he wants him. He now goes to O'Donnell. O'Donnell from the point of the square. Salmon one out. They're going to try and give him a 10th. Salmon in a good spot. Good stretch. Couldn't quite take the mark. Spawn with an opportunity. Still Spawn. Looking for kick. It goes back to Anderson with a strong handball. Left foot. And the siren sounds. And the Bombers are big winners at Football Park. 21-10, 136 with that man Paul Salmon kicking 9 goals tonight over Adelaide, 14-8-92. And the story of the last quarter, 11 goals, 1 to Essendon and 2 goals to Adelaide. Make that 10-1. My arithmetic's been poor all night, Bernie. 10-1 to 2 goals, 11 scoring shots into a breeze. And, well, Adelaide will be very disappointed, but their disappointment will be matched by the elation by Essendon tonight. Ingerson started well. Liptak, not his best night. He was shaded by Wanganeen. Smart. There's Ingerson with his couple of goals early.
Essendon really celebrating, Bruce. It's interesting to watch a football team after they win a game like this, or a game that was really a very important one for them. Perhaps they had some doubts coming here, but they've got no doubts about tonight or their own ability now, and this has been a very big game for them as we go down to Max Stevens.
Thanks, Dennis, and Gavin Wanganeen's been good enough to stay with me. Great to come back to Adelaide and play with the Bombers and win against the Crows.
Yeah, well, it's not easy winning here in Football Park, and I think in the beginning of the last quarter, up by a goal, and it's just a good effort to get back and win by 6 goals.
You're enjoying playing with Essendon? I mean, it was a toss-up, the Crows or the Bombers.
Yeah, I was happy. I'm happy at Essendon. They're a good club, and I'm glad I made the choice that I did.
And at this stage, no regrets?
No regrets at all.
Okay, just what happened at half-time? What did Kevin Sheedy say to you? Because that was the turning point in the 3rd quarter.
He said we're still in the game, even though they were up by a couple of goals, and he just said, look, we want to go home with a 4-point win, and we did it, so it was a good effort.
Okay, Gavin, thanks for your time. Thank you.
Gavin Wanganeen with Max Stevens. As we take a break from Football Park, Essendon 136 over Adelaide 92.
Remarkable reading that. You take a look at the scoreline. Adelaide trailing by 44 points at the finish after they led by 20, 14-5 at the other breaks. Michael Murphy kicked 5 goals and 2 apiece to Ingerson and Patterson for the losers, but really the story of the game was the performance by Paul Salmon, who finished with 9 goals. Buick and Ridley both kicked 3. So a remarkable night. Essendon now getting a scent of a place in the top 6, and after their early season form, that's an outstanding effort, Bernie Quinlan.
Certainly, Dennis, and that last quarter, well, surprisingly, they kicked 10 goals, 1 Essendon to 2 goals from the Adelaide Crows. And after such an even game up until 3-quarter time, the Adelaide Crows actually 5 points up at that stage. And yet they didn't show a lot of fight in that last quarter, Dennis. You said during the telecast that there could be some problem with morale.
Well, not that so much as I think increasingly Graham Corns in a one-team town is going to feel the heat, will come under pressure. And I just get the feeling, watching Adelaide quite often this season, that the players aren't sticking with the coach. I mean, they're doing a little too much remonstrating and making their feelings known and playing to the crowd as we take a look at those numbers. And I think in this situation, they've really got to be solid as a club. I think Graham Corns has done a particularly good job.
Well,
so Essendon Essendon down on hand passes there. I've taken a double look at that one, Bernie. That's a big discrepancy.
They do play a possession game, don't they, Dennis? And a lot of times they do get themselves into trouble when the pressure is applied by the other side.
So the situation here, Essendon big winners over Adelaide at Football Park. Now today, Geelong successful over Sydney at the SCG. After giving them a start, they went right over the top to win 24-14 in the end, 158 to Sydney 11-17, 83. Geelong on top of the ladder because Footscray was beaten today before a very big crowd at the MCG in a magnificent match by Collingwood, who in their last 6 games have either won or lost by an aggregate of 31 points. So it was Collingwood 11-16 to Footscray 11-10.
Time now to check the CUB AFL 1992 Premiership Season League ladder.
Let's look at the ladder, and the changes today, they are significant. Geelong now on top with Footscray second and St Kilda and Collingwood third and fourth. Then West Coast and Carlton, they're the top 6. Fitzroy, Hawthorn and Essendon very much a part of the action, and surely now there are 9 teams only that can make the top 6. Next week, Adelaide plays Sydney on Friday night. Let's start narrow favourites. Essendon against West Coast, suddenly a very big match at the MCG. St Kilda against North Melbourne. They'll start favourites. Richmond against Carlton at Waverley Park. On Sunday, Brisbane play Hawthorn. Geelong play Footscray in what will be the match of the round. The top 2 teams at Cardinia Park. Melbourne against Fitzroy. I reckon Collingwood would be pretty happy after the tough matches they've had of late with a bye in the next round. Terrific performance by the Bombers tonight. They win 4 matches in a row. They've taken Adelaide on at Football Park and they've come home big victors. Good night.
Well inside the attacking. Got low on a mark. Hodges.
Yeah, that certainly was a great mark by Scott Hodges.
This has been another 7 Sport production, the network of the 1992 Barcelona Olympics.
Football 92, proudly brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors, BP Australia, CUB, Westpac, Rocker Brothers and Foodland.